All right, greetings everyone. Nathan Nerdarch here from Nerdarchy for Nerds by Nerds. This is our fan game, Echoes in the Mirror, and with me I have.
I'm Jeremy. I'm in Dallas, Texas, and tonight I'll be playing a swashbuckling rogue who is used to being on a boat, but I'm sure will not be on a boat tonight.
My name is Roy. I'll be playing an asymmetrical.
Sorry about that.
All right. I guess Roy cut out. My name is Tom. I'm from the Netherlands, and I will be bringing a halfling monk to the table.
Great. All right. So I just want to make sure that we are not having any technical difficulties. All right. It does look like it's actually live. Great. We've had some issues with this. Oh, and now what I get? Turn it. All right. Okay. Looks like we're good to go. Oh, got people in chat. Great. All right. You are all, at some point or another, at one time or another, have been part of the company of the NAG, which is the mercenary group throughout the Griffin Gap and the surrounding areas. And you find yourself in a market area. It is normal, everyday, run-of-the-mill things. You're just going to pick up a few things from the market for your either work later in the week or just to grab something because you don't feel like having whatever the local tavern is doing. All of a sudden you hear a crash, a giant commotion, and you turn so quickly that you see a mirror over at one of the stalls still shattering, and the pieces are falling around and up into the air. The world seems to slow, and you spot a set of eyes, your eyes, looking at your reflection. And well, now you're looking at your whole self, but from where are you standing if you're looking at you? The world goes dim and your image grows smaller and smaller as you fall back and away from it. Your sight fails you and all is black, but still you fall. Slowly you come to a stop in an area that is less dim than where you were. The place is obscured, but not due to any fog or mist. If you look around, the world seems to be smudged. The farther the distance, the more pronounced this smudging, to the point it would be difficult to recognize your companions from across a tavern room. There are several people in your immediate vicinity that you can see that are within distance of you, and they are all kind of just looking around or laying down, some of them. So what would you like to do?
I'd like to maybe check some of the ones that are laying down, see if they're actually breathing or if they're actually deceased.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'll help them with that.
All right, just hold on a second. All right, while you do that, I need to make sure that I've got this mission thing here. Several of them are seem to be unconscious, and a few next to you, as you come up to them, they startle awake and are looking around and are confused.
The ones that are unconscious, are they injured? Possible injuries?
They do not seem injured. They just seem as if they cannot They are not. They are not awake. They're not. Like if you try and shake them and whatever, they don't seem to be waking up right away.
I'd like to ask one of the people that is awake if they know where we are.
The ones that are awake. Okay, so you three are around. Did you go to different people, or did you kind of all congregate to one person?
I would have went to a different set of people.
Okay.
Yeah, me too. So I think we're spread out.
Yeah.
You recognize each other from previous missions that you've been on, either while being in the Nag Guild Hall, or well, if you know each other further, you can go into that. You can go into that. So around you, the people that you can awaken, they are confused and what has happened? I remember a large crash. What's going on?
Do I remember, or can I remember, did I see any of these people in the market? Were they in the market as well?
Yes, one of the women who had a very bright red headscarf you definitely recognize as it's either that woman or another woman wearing a bright red headscarf.
Okay.
It's definitely within your vicinity, and none of them seem frightened. They all seem just very confused and kind of dulled, as if they were possibly struck, and that is why they were unconscious.
Okay,
Well, if I
wanna
recognize,
ask them what they
oh, go ahead.
Sorry. I want to ask them what's the last thing they remembered from the marketplace.
Well, I was the person you're talking to. Well, I was going and picking up some vegetables and spices for food for this week, and I heard a large crash, and then it felt like I fell and hurt myself. I must have bumped my head on something, but did something fall on me?
I'd like to go up to Anzu, since I would have recognized him just from being around the nag. And I'll ask Anzu, do you know where we are?
No, it looks like some kind of tavern, but no.
So as you put your focus on the actual place, it's kind of dim, dark. It's like a whole bunch of it's like an open shipping yard where they would repair ships or something like that, like a large open space with but there's these areas that just seem darker and you don't know necessarily why they would be darker. But there's a whole dimness to everything except for off on the far left side of where you're standing. Off on the horizon is it's a slightly lighter gray, and it seems to be a gray along the whole entire section of that. What I guess you could call horizon. It seems very far compared to the place. Compared to what you thought this was, like maybe a warehouse or something for storing goods.
And does it seem sort of dim and dark, like, because I have my character as a gnome, I would have dark vision. Does it seem that way even to me, so that I would, I guess, perceive something strange as opposed to just darkness?
You would see a higher contrast between the areas where the smudges are and where they aren't.
Okay.
And several places you can see kind of a angry black cracks of what looked like lightning or cracks within the dark smudges, as if like something was painted inside of them. like black lightning. And the smudges don't seem to be in any particular order, but they do seem to contain the current area, except for what you visibly see heading off towards that gray space in the distance. More of the people are waking up, and they seem to be just as confused as the rest of them that you spoke with, and they are looking around for someone that will help them. Is what it looks like. They're looking for someone to they're looking for someone to tell them what to do and if they're going to be harmed or not. Is the general impression. You know the feeling. Well, these people have never been in real danger besides maybe a person mugging them. They haven't fought orcs and goblins and things.
Gotcha.
Since it looks like a shipping yard, do I hear or smell water or the ocean or something?
No. In fact, you don't really smell much of anything. Aside from, at first you didn't smell anything, and then you start to notice that you do smell the people around you and the general, the leather of their gloves, and there's definitely a baker around. You can smell that, that old flour smell. And maybe a fishmonger isn't here somewhere, though you don't see him. It does smell. The different smells are starting to come to you now, but they would.
Okay, bring me the smells from the people that I can see.
What would you guys smell like?
Okay.
It's for science. It's for science. Yeah, so if you have a particular hobby that you're going to smell of, like one of you blacksmiths in their spare time, you would smell that as well.
Is the NAG, just for my general knowledge, are people that are members of the NAG generally well liked by people in the area that would have been in the market we were at?
People overall have a generally good opinion about the NAG.
Okay. I'd like to just sort of shout out to everybody and just say, I'd just like to say, everybody, I know it seems everybody's sort of confused on how we got here. I think the best thing is for everybody just sort of stay close together. We can try to figure out where we are and get back to Griffin Gaff as quickly as we can.
Okay, so many of them turn to you, and the people who are younger and seem less experienced are definitely eager for you to direct them. But they all seem to have, either, when you wake up from a confused sleep, or,
Sort of groggy.
Yeah, they just seem all kinds of groggy.
Are we also feeling that same way?
No, you seem alert, as if you're deciding whether or not this scenario is dangerous.
Okay.
Where you are is someplace dangerous, or you someplace where you can let your guard down. You would not have thought to let your guard down yet.
Okay.
Based on all the unknowns.
Okay.
Unless that's your character's whim.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'll ask Anzu and Ramiel, since I recognize them from the NAG, what they think the best course of action should be.
Dropped out again, so I missed a little bit. Did anybody have an idea of where we are?
No, everyone is sort of just groggy. I kind of tried to calm the crowd a little bit to say that we were with the NAG and that we might, we're going to try to help people. And then I'm just asking you and Anzu what you thought our next move should be.
We are in a... Correct?
Is he cutting out?
Yeah, it's on mine.
Okay.
Yeah, here too.
Okay. As you're talking and discussing this, towards the gray expanse that you see in the distance, through the black smudges, you see the glow of what looks to be like a hidden lantern, kind of obscured behind cloth or something, probably from all the haze and other things in the area.
How far away?
It's hard to judge distance here. Could be the walk on the other side of a tavern, or a mile or in the open field at night.
Nate, did you say we were inside a structure?
You got that feeling that you're inside a structure because there's no starlight, and it was day when you blacked out. So there's no indication to tell you that you're outside. So from what you've seen previously, you would assume that you were inside a space, like a structure or something that's large, because you haven't seen the walls yet.
Right.
I would like to maybe try to stealthily approach the lantern, staying at a distance, just to see if I can see anything.
And I will follow him, actually, stealthily.
And I'll stay with the crowd and keep them calm down.
Okay, good. Because as they were starting to walk off, several of them became nervous about being left alone. All right.
I got a 16.
Okay. What are you attempting to do?
I was stealthing with.
Oh, okay. All right.
Okay.
I missed the stealth part.
Yeah. So how do you add? I was going to try to use the dice stream. How do you add the bonus on it?
You would just. It's going to show you the raw rolls.
And then I just add it myself.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would just add it yourself afterward.
Okay. So I have on stealth. I have just +3, so 18.
Okay, great. So you are moving on the way towards that. Make a perception check, both of you.
Okay. I got a nat 20, so 23 total.
Okay. You notice a strange coldness around the smudges. Some of the smudge groups seem to be getting kind of close to you. And you notice a strange coldness around them.
Like they seem to be moving toward us, or we seem to be getting closer to them.
You're getting closer to them, and they're kind of seem dispersed throughout. So
Okay.
as you're moving towards this light, you have to kind of go around them if you're not going to go through them.
Okay.
And as you draw near to one, you notice a strange coldness about it. And
Are we closer enough to the lantern to be able to see anything more than just a sort of faint light?
yes, as you get closer, you notice that there are like a glistening or glittering along the ground, as flecks of mica or pieces of glass on the ground, pieces of sand on the ground hit by lantern light.
Okay.
They seem to be coming in towards the direction you're going, and also past beyond the lantern light.
Is the lantern avoiding the streaks as well, or is it cutting through it?
The lantern does not seem to be moving.
Oh, okay.
Either it is stationary, or whoever is holding it, if someone is holding it, has not moved.
Ramiel, what do you think? You think we should continue approaching it or head back to get everybody else? Did he drop again?
I don't know. He's having some problems. It looks like he did drop. All right, we are having some technical difficulties with one of our players.
Can I still see them from where I am?
Yes, with difficulty, but you can see as they pass in front of the lantern light. You can see them more clearly as silhouettes.
I think I would like to take what I've learned and stealthily make my way back to Anzu and the rest of the group at this point,
Okay.
and tell Anzu what I learned, that I couldn't see anybody holding the lantern. That but the streaks, that there seems to be something definitely odd about the streaks. I think we definitely need to investigate that lantern, but maybe we should get ask for some volunteers from the crowd to join us that might be able to fare well in a fight. What do you think?
Yeah, that sounds like an idea. So I'll head over there
Okay.
because I don't like the idea of leaving people behind here, as I'm probably one of the more able-bodied persons around here.
Is there anybody in the crowd that actually does seem sort of capable? I know they all seem slightly groggy, but is there anybody that seems like they would be able to handle themselves?
There's a few that if you were pressed, you could ask them to, but they do not seem to be equipped with anything useful.
Okay.
There's a few younger people who seem fit, like they work on the docks or
Things of that nature. Anzu, what do you think would be our best bet? Do you think we should maybe try to keep everybody together and head in that direction as a group? Or should we maybe investigate first and then come back for them?
I think we should all stick together and just have the able-bodied persons at the front and some at the back of the group.
Okay. I will try to, I guess, persuade the crowd and basically say, hey, hello, I'm with the NAG. We're going to try to get everybody out of here. If we could have a couple of volunteers to help, we're all going to stick together. We're going to try to make our way out of here, keep everybody together. You may notice some darker areas. Please stay away from those. And if you start to feel cold, get back into the center with the group.
Several of them nod their heads in assent. So, oh yes, that sounds great. We'll stay with everybody.
Has everybody woken up, by the way, or are there some still unconscious?
There seems to be most of the people are awake. The ones that are not.
Hey, Troy.
Yeah.
How do you keep this from the screen timing out?
What is the screensaver coming on? Every once in a while, you're just going to have to, without fucking a bunch of settings, just enable.
Sorry, my internet shit itself.
Okay. That's right. Hopefully you'll stay with us for a bit. So recap, basically, they've decided to gather everybody together, and they're going to try and move towards that light.
Okay.
So the people that were hesitant are eager to go with you when they realize that everyone else is leaving.
Okay.
And they're following the rear.
Were there still some people unconscious that they're having to carry?
You do see some forms. Well, what you think are forms off in the distance beyond the black smudges, but you're not sure if you're seeing, even with the party members who have the sharper eyes in the dark or dim light, you still can't make out if it's just rubble on the ground somewhere or if it's an actual person, but it's off past the area where these dense clumping of these smudges.
Okay.
And decided to stay away from them. So I mean, you can go into them to try and figure out if it's a person or not, but that's up to you. but
that showed up here with us are on their feet.
yeah, most of the people that you saw in the general area that you recall, like the person with the red scarf and the noble and his retainer, those kind of people you see. Those kind of people you see around you. So,
Okay.
Was that everybody in the market? You're not sure.
Right.
You're not actually sure what exactly occurred. So, right. So you headed towards the.
I was gonna say I would like to give. Since I have 2 daggers. I would like to give my. I'm gonna give my daggers up and just keep my short swords. I'll give my daggers up to the more capable-looking people. One at the front and one at the back, so at least they'll be somewhat armed.
All right. Well, the noble that was there is like, oh, I'm fine. I come armed.
Okay.
He has only got a dagger, but
Yeah.
it's like the gentleman's city weapon.
Okay.
And 2 of the younger lads take the daggers and thank you for them.
Okay.
And they follow in behind you. And where are you headed towards? There's the gray expanse upon the horizon, and then there is the light.
And the light is sort of on the way toward the gray horizon, right?
Yeah, they're both in the same direction.
Okay. Are y'all good with heading toward the lantern, avoiding the cold streaks?
Yeah. That sounds good.
All right. As you approach the area of the lantern, the smudges become crisper, and they're more outlined, and you can see a bit of the floor. It just seems to be just like a black dirt, sandy floor. Again, there's not really a lot of light in this area, but you do see the lantern more clearly as this orb of whitish blue bobbing light. It's about 40, 50 feet away. And it looks set upon a very thin pole or pillar. Well, a very thin pole, like a black shaft coming from the ground. And again, it seems like you're inside some kind of structure or place, but you don't see any windows or anywhere an exit or anything. As you get close enough to see the lantern more clearly, some people are shouting out as they've brushed too close to these
Streaks.
Yeah, the streaks, and see them holding their arms, and it looks like they've had some kind of burn or frost upon it. So they're clutching their limbs that have been touched by these smudges closer to their bodies and trying to all huddle close together.
Okay. What do y'all think? Do y'all think we should try to take the lantern?
Does it look like it can come off?
Davey said it was just on it was a lantern that was hung on like a staff. Like, does that look like something we could take with us?
It looks like there's a black staff protruding from the ground, and the lantern is upon it. It's pretty bright for all this darkness. You don't actually see a lantern casing around it. It just seems to be an orb upon a staff.
What do y'all think? Y'all think we should try to pull up the staff so we have some light on our way?
Yeah, in a dark place, some light sounds good.
Who wants to go grab the crazy staff in the middle of the darkness?
I'm not the strongest of fellows, but I can try.
Okay. I will ask for the people that are following us for them to sort of stay back slightly while we're going to go grab the lantern.
Okay, so
when he starts when he starts walking to go grab the lantern, I will or shadows.
Excuse me, what are you doing?
Activating my armor of shadows. So
Oh, okay.
I will ready my my short swords. Pull them both out.
Okay. So you grab the black staff, and it comes free of the flooring.
All right.
And sorry, chat. They're going over the different rules of an adventure. You already broke the first rule by not splitting the party up. As you grab the black staff that the lantern rests upon, it seems cold, but not terribly cold. And again, you get that feeling of worry or like wrongness in the area. And
So I feel a bit.
not because I'm going to fight you or anything like that, but where is everybody right now?
I was standing off to the side while he grabbed it. Sort of I was trying to keep an eye on him, sort of to the side, so I could keep an eye on him and the people we told to sort of stay back.
I'm probably standing somewhere close to the swashbuckler.
Okay. All right. You grab it and examine it, and behind you, you hear people gasping and some shouts of alarm and surprise.
Turn and look.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Turn my head towards it.
Sorry. Trying to not cough, but it didn't work. Behind the people, you see the flickering movement of shadowy beings.
All right. I will, I guess, head toward them. Head toward that area since we told these people we'd protect them.
Yeah, as you well, I guess you roll initiative. That'll work out. That way we can kind of have an order to everybody's movements.
All right, sure.
7.
All right.
19 plus 6, so 25.
Okay.
16 plus 4, so 20. Oh, wait, should I take the first one? I rolled 4 times. I'll just roll once more. 13 plus 4, so 17.
And the reason mine was plus 6 is because the fancy footwork for the swashbuckler will let you add your dexterity and charisma bonuses.
Nice.
I did not notice that I was in Star Wars dice. I'm like, what in the heck is this? Oh no, I don't know how to get rid of it.
I rolled a triumph for initiative.
All right. Phew. Yeah. I was like, add destiny. What's going on here? Okay. I fixed the problem. I now have D&D back on. All right. Several of the people are screaming and terrified, and you see several of them fall over, and they aren't moving. And as they fall away, with the light, you can see that there is these black flickering forms behind where the person fell.
Okay. Are they near the streaks? Is it like, or is it like, does it seem like they're coming out of the streaks, or can we not tell that?
They look similar to the like a humanoid flickering collection of these smudges.
Okay.
All right.
So
I would like to
back
move,
step ones.
I think only one of you is going after them. So
Yeah, I had said that I was
Feel
heading
free
over
to-
there toward them.
feel free to make your moves.
Okay.
Whatever you'd like to do.
Well, I'd head toward them. As I get closer to them, do I notice anything different, or that's just they have no clear appearance? They're just human smudges, essentially.
Yes, human smudges is good. Humanoid smudges.
Okay. As I will stay slightly back and try to communicate. I'll just try to say, "Who are you? What is this place?" And then I'd like to ready an action. So if it approaches me, I would like to attack.
Okay, so you're going to ask them a question, and then if they be readying to attack if they approach you.
Yes.
Well, as you approach, you notice that the people that are on the ground are not moving, and they seem to have these black smudge prints, as if someone took black paint and just touched it on different parts of their body, and they are going like a darkening gray on the ground. It does not say anything. It does not. You're not really sure if it can communicate, but it does reach towards you.
Okay, so I'll
Not to give you a handshake.
yeah, I will then be attacking with my short sword.
Okay.
So probably not the greatest. That'd be a 10.
Well, you have managed to not hit it.
All right.
All right. I believe Tom's next, right?
All right. I want to move over as well, and I'll bring the lantern with me and see if it moves back from the lantern. If not,
As you come closer with the lantern, they do seem to, the ones that you see, the smudges become crisper. It seems to be, that as you come with the lantern, the smudges resolve themselves into a flat, blackened humanoid shape.
so they get more form.
Yeah, they look like have a crisper form than the smudged humanoid, in general shape that they were before. And they do seem to flinch from it, but the one that's interested in hitting the swashbuckler does not, only flinches lightly when you bring the light over. Are you going to do anything besides bring the light over?
I'm going to plant the light in the ground, and I'm going to attack it.
Okay. The one that's attacking
The swashbuckler, yeah.
swashbuckler. Okay.
I want to save Jeremy.
Hooray.
All right, so I want to hit it with my quarterstaff.
All right.
That's a 1.
That is
But
a
I get a
one.
second. That I'm guessing that won't hit. So I'll use my second attack.
All right.
That's a 23.
All right.
All right. It's much better. That definitely
Alright,
hits.
so
Okay.
that's 5 plus 4 is 9 damage. And if I hit with an attack, I can do another an armed attack.
Okay.
So that's 18.
To hit, that hits.
18 to hit, yes.
Mhm.
And that will do 7 damage.
Okay, what's that? A total of 15?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. You said you're a monk, right?
Yeah.
Uh,
So that's 50.
You don't count as
At
magical
fifth level, I
weapons
get
yet? You count as magical weapons yet?
no. That's level 6.
Oh, okay. One away from it. So as you smash into it with the quarterstaff, it doesn't feel as solid as a normal person would be. And while you know you got in solid strikes after your little stumble in the beginning, you do not feel like you found purchase to really drive your strikes home. But wisps of this black, the smudges seem to fall away, and it reduces it a little bit, and it's a bit smaller than it was.
Mm-hmm.
All right. But it still comes at the swashbuckler, and it will strike at the swashbuckler. Whoa. It will strike really hard at the swashbuckler. All right. Okay. So, as you had swung your sword at it and it has been struck with staves, the stave, it still comes forward towards you and reaches as if to try and, as if it's going to pick up a rock or something like that, but it reaches into your body and squeezes. And as it pulls away, it's you feel this intense cold sensation, and as if you've just had the wind knocked out of you. You're breathless and staggered a bit. You take 15 damage.
Okay.
Necrotic. Okay. Roy, you're up.
Oh. There's engaged. Can you hear me?
I can now. I had trouble earlier when you were talking.
Okay. So there's only one of these creatures?
There are two.
What's the second one doing?
Going around terrorizing the peasant folk, and the some of the lads that you gave daggers to are trying to mess around with it, but they are definitely having a hard time.
All right. I'm going to fire an Eldritch Blast, one at each of them.
All right.
So, first one will be a 16.
That hits.
And then the second one will be does 11 hit?
11 does not.
So damage will be 9 points of force.
And that was to the first one that the monk and the swashbuckler are engaged with.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, I figured you listed them in that order. So your Eldritch Blast hits true, slams into the creature's neck area, and where it impacts, it blows away all of this smudges, and they flap away and fly away from it, and the humanoid entity is no longer there except for a few pieces on the ground. And the other one moves out of the way as the eldritch blast careens over its head.
Damn it.
All right. So Roy needs to do that again.
All right.
Yeah.
This one gets to attack first. It is currently fighting the two young lads, but it did notice your blast as it dodged. It noticed where it came from, and it seems to be more interested in you than the ones it's tangling with right now.
Okay.
Okay, top of the order.
Okay. So I think I'm gonna, as the forest gnome, I have minor illusion. I'm gonna see if these things can be tricked, if they have any sort of anything.
Okay.
I would like to create a minor illusion of just intense light and heat, in between Ramiel and it, closer to it, to see if it flinches and stuff the same way it did from the actual lantern.
All right. So with this minor illusion, what you're going for is some kind of like distraction, as if like
I'm trying to imitate the light from the orb that we
Okay.
saw to see if it
just
flinches.
really close.
Yes.
And all right, while you're doing that, several of the people towards the end of the last round, they are starting to lose interest in being by here and are actually headed past where the light was.
Okay. Heading toward the gray area.
Yeah, heading towards the gray area. So they are going along towards the gray area. All right. You create that illusion of that lantern on a staff in front of it, and it does rear back and shield itself from it.
Okay.
And looks like it's going to dart away from the people and more into like the open area. Because you put it in between the guys with the daggers and
I put it in between the warlock that it was running to.
the
and
warlock. Okay, all right. So it does look like it's going to be halting its movement in that direction.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Next.
Yeah. So I'm going to pick up the lantern again, and I'm going to head towards the second creature, and I want to hit it with the lantern.
Okay.
If it doesn't like the light, then maybe it won't like it if it gets hits with it.
All right. I would say it's like a staff with a like a flail bar or something on the end of it. So you can use it as a staff. It's like kind of a monk weapon.
All right. So I can just use my quarterstaff.
Yeah, use your quarterstaff statistics for it.
All right. Okay. 19 plus 7, so that's 26.
All right. That hits, so roll your damage.
That's 7 damage.
Okay.
And then I get a second attack, and I want to try to hit with the flail part, so the orb part.
Okay. Yeah, so you just hit it with the black staff part of it, right? The first time.
So the first time with the staff, and the second time with the flail part.
Okay.
So
good.
that's another 19.
All right.
Which is 5 damage.
Okay.
And then I get an armed strike, which is 22.
Okay.
Guessing that hits.
Yes.
That's 5 damage.
Okay. So we'll do it this way. So you come in with your quarterstaff strike, and as the black bar hits it, it seems to warp and distort where it hit, and it seems like a more solid strike, and the creature clutches the limb that you hit, and as you come in, you punch it squarely in the chest. Again, it doesn't feel quite like a normal
Mhm.
a normal solid hit. And as you come around with the lantern part of the staff, and you strike it, there's a large flash, popping sound, and it's very dark. And you hear this wailing shriek as the form flies apart and lands and splatters upon the ground, and pieces tattered into the air.
All right. So it's dark. So the light went out.
Yes, and you take 6 lightning damage.
Alright.
As there's like
Nathan.
sparks and these trailing arcs that fly out from when the lantern pops. Yes.
So you
Just
said.
for
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
just for bookkeeping, did I drop that last one? Did I drop it to 0?
Yeah, pretty sure you killed it.
Just asking because I get for that.
Yeah, that works.
So I was just going to ask the people that were touched that fell unconscious. Are they still unconscious, or like how much of the group is still all near us? How much ran away? Or are they still within shouting distance?
You're having trouble seeing the people that went up to the gray horizon area. The people that are on the ground are they do not seem to be breathing or alive anymore.
Okay. So how many people are there still a group near us though?
There's the 2 lads with the daggers,
Okay.
and everybody else went ahead.
The ground. How many are there?
The ground, there are 3.
Yeah, that are down. I'll spare the dying on one. See if it works.
Okay, let's see.
And if the noble's down there, that'll be the one I'll try it on.
Well, that's a good eye, but he is not the one down there. He went ahead with the rest of the group. Hmm. So spare the dying doesn't work. You think that perhaps they are past helping.
I would like to. I know that I don't know if
Okay.
the others are in shouting distance or not, but I would like to try to use either intimidation or persuasion and just shout out. We 3 members of the NAG have defeated darkness itself and still survived to tell the tale. If you wish to make it out of here, you should rejoin us as soon as possible.
Okay. I will give you.
I look over.
Sorry, I'll give you an inspiration for that.
Okay.
And I also want to give an inspiration to Tom for the lantern attack.
What is the swashbuckler's name?
I made it Jeremy, just for ease.
All right.
Well, after you yell that, I'm probably going to look over to you and be like, do you realize how much of a hassle these people will be to get out of here? We'll probably have a better chance on our own.
Try to save as many as we can.
Yeah, I agree with Jeremy.
So they went up ahead, and it's difficult to see them now that you still have the after effects of the flash in your eyes. But you know which way they headed.
Yeah.
That's as far as you know. That's the way they went.
All right. So I guess we should gather up get the 2 lads and start heading toward the gray area. What do y'all think?
That sounds like
Yeah.
yeah, we should be heading to. The exit isn't here. We have to want to get out. We have to move.
Yeah.
Okay. As you as you head towards the gray horizon, you're traveling for a bit. The two lads are kind of lagging behind. They were a bit wounded, but they're still with you. They're just they seem to not be having they're not full on adventurers. So you guys have seen quite a few scrapes and have the endurance for it.
How long have we been here at this point?
You would say that upon awakening, you would say maybe it's been 10 minutes since you woke up and started talking with people, and then another 10 minutes going to lantern and coming back, and then these creatures and dealing with that, and checking on the people. And then as you begin to walk, you'd say maybe like 25 minutes or so, 30 minutes have passed.
Could I maybe make an Arcana check to see if I recognize this as some sort of pocket dimension or?
Oh yeah, sure. Go right ahead. Do you also have investigate?
Yes, I do.
Okay, you can make that as well.
Both or just one or the other?
How about you just make one, and then we'll take the highest pluses.
Okay. Well, they're both +5. So
All right. Well, that's good.
natural 20, so that'll be a 25 for Arcana.
Okay. All right.
Probably my only natural 20 tonight.
What's your? You have Eldritch Blast. What is your Patreon background and stuff like that?
Fiend.
Okay. Any particular sliver, slice of themed or?
I was thinking probably just Asmodeus.
Okay. I said okay as if I just knew everything about that guy. Don't really study up on the fiends much. Okay, so there are ways of imprisoning people into things, and when those people are imprisoned, the reality they see is off from the regular reality of the waking world. So this kind of feels like a pocket dimension, kind of feels like an imprisonment, but you felt like you would have noticed such a spell being cast. They're not just like magic missile whip them out spells, so you would have felt that some ritual would have had to have occurred for that to happen.
So we were like sucked into the jeweled teeth of a demi-lich then, right?
Well, you have heard stories about stuff like that, and that does sound kind of pretty cool. But Asmodeus hasn't given you any. You haven't got any inner insight. Insight about that, except to say, those things that you know about imprisonments and those type of spells.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. So I guess as we're walking along, I will begin what I think is going on. That we might be prisoned in a demi-plane or perhaps some sort of item.
All right, and do you also know a way how to get out?
No.
Well, because you rolled a 20 and you have investigate and arcana, I was kind of combining the rolls. I will say that that there's usually like a back door to get out of imprisonments, and demiplanes
Okay.
usually have some linkage to some other plane. It might be a terrible plane of fire or hell or like the crushing. You might go through a doorway and it might be the crushing, weight of the plane of water on you. But there's other ways to go other places normally in planes of existence.
Okay.
So if that is truly where
Okay.
you are,
Yeah. So strike my first answer, and that's what I say.
yes. Yes.
Well, at least it's a hellish fire dimension to be able to see.
So we have to find a back
Let's
door or
hit on with the
portal.
planet fire.
So I guess keep heading to the gray area. Hope it's a back door.
All right. As you're heading towards the gray area, you do notice a few of those sparkly specks upon the ground, and they seem to be more present in this path towards the gray area. And you're traveling for about 10-15 minutes. Every once in a while, there's a patch of this gray smudge and there's angry black lightning, but nothing that makes you kind of like get through a pinch point or anything like that.
Can I throw while we're walking to see what'll happen? I'm actually gonna ask one of the young lads for one of the daggers back. I want to and throw one of the daggers into it and see what happens to it.
Okay. Okay, so you throw it, and it. Well, what happened when you threw it? I mean, I've got other plans for that, but I'm trying to think.
It's like Portal.
Yeah.
Out another one.
Comes out the one behind me. Ah.
So you throw it at it. You're pretty sure you hit around those angry black lightning bits, and it clatters to the ground behind it with a dull thud, and it looks very gray and streaked with this black oil or something.
Okay. Well, glad I tested that with a non-living thing first.
Yeah.
I probably should have asked this when we were waking up, but I don't feel like stone, or did it feel like something else?
Oh, what, the flooring?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like this cold, damp, not quite as hard as stone, but maybe stone with layers and layers of pressed grit on it.
Okay.
Like if you scuff it enough, there's, it's just dirt, and then like a harder, darker material. Probably stone, like it might be stone.
Okay.
But now that your suspicions are on that you might not be in a regular physical world, it's probably not. It could look like stone and smell like stone and taste like stone, but it's probably not stone if you're where you think you are.
Not stone.
So it looks like a black, kind of obsidian black underneath this sandy grit that covers it. All right, well, you had a...
And as we're... go ahead.
No, go ahead.
As we're heading towards this gray haze, are we actually getting closer to it?
It's a bit difficult to say. It does seem to be taking up more of your vision along the horizon.
That's a good sign.
Yeah.
So it's either coming more into view or you're getting closer to it. Let's say if it was the side of a rock face or something, then you'd be getting closer to it. But maybe it's just as you pass more and more of the smudge area, you're getting able to see more of it.
All right. Well, y'all want to keep heading towards it?
Yeah. Or do you have another
Anything
suggestion?
else going?
No.
All right. Well, as you decide to continue on, you notice that there is that glittering pathway that you notice
Mhm.
every once in a while, almost like an overgrown game trail, where it's kind of visible from certain angles. You notice that the path, this glittering bits have gotten wider, and then they abruptly split in two ways, and they split at this black mass of smudge bits, and the crackled um, black lightning. And
Does either path still seem to be heading toward the gray area, or do both of them still seem to be?
from what you can see, they don't split and go and turn around. They split almost like a Y.
Okay.
So as long as they don't take a wide detour one way or the other, they should keep heading toward that. And you see the black mass of smudges and shadows is actually um, there are two lighter flecks, like the roadway, what you assume to be the roadway, um, up around the top of the mass is its two glittering eyes.
How tall is this thing?
Um, about 8 feet tall. Well, you think it's 8 feet tall. It's actually sitting. It's about your height sitting.
Oh shit!
Y'all want to try to sort of sneak
Staring
around
at
it?
us. If it's staring at us, we can't sneak around it.
True.
Does it appear to be looking at us?
It's just looking at you. It's not attacking or doing anything.
We could try to take a wide angle, just be prepared if anything happens. Try to avoid it.
What kind of
Can we
languages
see?
do you? What kind of languages do you all know?
Just
I know common. Oh.
go ahead.
I speak common, celestial, and infernal.
Oh, okay.
Common, halfling, and elvish.
Okay.
Just common and gnomish.
All right. As you're deciding on what to do, you hear a harsh whisper, but you don't understand the language. And it just seems to be staring off at the three of you.
It's not making any aggressive moves or anything.
They communicate.
No. The whispers, you think the whispers are coming from it. And it continues to stare at you and says, I am what am I? You hear a whisper in common.
It says, "What am I?"
I am what am I? And it looks to the right
Oh, lovely.
slowly, and then looks to the left slowly, and then it looks at you and says, wish help?
Sure. Which way out here?
So it goes and looks to the right hand side, and then back at you.
What do y'all think? Y'all trust it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
50-50 anyway.
Yeah, that's true. What do you think, Ramiel?
He may be thinking lag.
Maybe. That's a great post to freeze on.
Man. All right.
Well, Tom, you want to, or Anzu, you want to go ahead and should we head to the right, see what happens? Just keep an eye on it.
There's nothing else we can see on either side. Just darkness, or it's heading towards the gray area, but nothing else.
It says, "Death you keeping, you death."
Death you keeping you death, is that what you said?
Yes. And then it looks to the left.
Well, I asked it which way out of here, and it looked to the right. Then it talked about death and looked to the left. I vote right.
I agree.
Maybe we'll wait a couple and see.
Yeah, looks like he's rejoining.
Okay. It's a bummer he's having so much trouble
so-
with his internet.
Maybe we can discuss his language while we wait for come back. So it seems like he's talking in palindromes.
Yeah.
Or sort of.
Yeah, word palindromes as opposed to letter
Yeah.
palindromes.
Yeah, exactly.
So did you want to talk to it some more or ask a question?
Yeah, maybe which way leave, way which?
Well, this is harder than I thought when I first thought this up. It's perfectly fine talking in its voice, but you guys talking to it. Say that again. Help me.
Which way leave, way which? Or actually, I guess let me try it again. Let me do which way home, way which.
Okay, so you said it was me. It wasn't the creature having problems thinking.
Okay.
So the first one, it looks to the left, and then for the second one, it just looks like around.
Okay. Because that's it. I guess because that's its home. It's already in its home. So it glanced to the left for leaving when we asked it in its own language. So maybe it is left.
Yes, but that's also the area where it mentioned death.
Yes. Huh.
Leaving. Oh, you gotta be kidding me.
Hey, welcome back, Ramiel.
Okay, so
How long it lasts?
So to catch you up, basically, when I said which way to get out of here, it looked to the right. Then it talked to us about death and looked to the left. But then when we noticed what its language patterns were, and I asked it which way to leave in its own language pattern, it looked to the left. So we're
Is it
trying to.
speaking in common?
It's speaking in common in a weird word palindrome speech pattern. So we're up in the air, right or left. What do y'all think? Or do y'all think we should ask it something else?
It looked to the right when you asked it which way.
It looked to the right when I asked it which way is to get out of here. However, when I asked it which way to leave in its own speech pattern, it looked to the left.
Okay, so we are assuming that there is a back door, like a portal-like thing to get us out of here.
True.
So maybe we can.
We're hoping.
Maybe we can ask it for the portal.
Okay. So how about try to be more specific. Which way to the portal? The two-way witch.
All right. Okay, it's gonna look to the left again.
Okay. Well, that's 2 for left, 1 for right as far as getting out of here. Y'all, but left is also death. What do y'all think?
All right.
Okay,
So,
so there's
this is where I come in with the a lot of your characters can be smarter. You know, when you make a character and they're like an investigator or they know a whole bunch of magic and stuff, they can like know more about what's going on than we could possibly figure out on our own.
Yeah.
So this is where I allow like anybody that wants to make a roll based on if your character's smarter than you or they've got skills you don't possess, feel free to roll.
My character would not, I don't think, know anything, being
Okay.
having lived out on the sea. Hopefully the monk or the warlock, though.
So insight.
Can I make an insight roll?
Yeah, absolutely.
our detective.
I rolled an 18.
Okay. So that's gonna be higher than an 18, right?
No, just straight 18. My wisdom's a 0.
All right. Oh, so you don't have the skill?
No, I
Oh,
don't.
okay. All right. I assumed you were rolling it. So, okay. So you're pretty sure that the way the creature was speaking in common, it seems like most of its answers sometimes didn't make sense based on, you feel like it's not trying to necessarily lead you astray.
Yeah.
But
I think so let me just say, I guess since I just realized this, I'll have my gnome realize this. Hey, that mirror crashed and it's talking to us in sort of like a mirror language, so maybe its answers are the opposite.
So we should go right.
Yeah.
Well,
that seems
That
intuitive
sounds-
based on your thought processes on them, I'd say.
I'm fine with going right. I mean, I don't want to spend the rest of my life in here, and if I have to die getting out, well,
Are you okay with that, Anzu?
Yeah, I'm okay with that. That sounds plausible.
There's always plenty of room in the sphere of annihilation.
Yeah. All right, well, I guess we'll start heading out to the right, keeping an eye on it as we're passing it still, just at least I am, to make sure it doesn't reach out or anything.
Okay.
can I make an Arcana check to try to maybe recognize what sort of creature this is, or maybe a check?
Say that again. Arcane check to figure out the type of creature it is.
Yeah.
It seems to be some kind of. Well, you recognize it as some kind of guardian spirit.
Okay.
That's your best guess on what it is. And sometimes they can have rules by which they need to guard something, which you're linking to the weird way it talked. All right, so you head down the right. The glittery path continues, and nothing terrible has happened to you yet. So
Right here. What do you mean?
So
I don't know
you're
see
feeling
yet.
more and more confident with each step that you did not get yourself killed.
Is the gray still seem to be getting closer?
Yes, as you make more progress, it does seem to be getting closer.
Are there fewer and fewer smudges as well, or is there still just as many?
There's a good concentration of them in the area, and you, as you round a particularly dense patch of them, you do notice that there is another well, it looks like a lantern thing
All right.
up ahead.
Can I maybe roll either stealth or perception to try to get a better look at it?
Yeah, either whichever one
Oh.
either way you want to focus on checking it out or get a little closer and get a better look.
I'll do stealth just because I'm better at that. Oh, hey, a lot better at that. So that's 23 total.
Hey, where did Jeremy go?
I vanished from sight.
Yeah.
Oh, great. He's dead now.
Eaten up by the dark. You vanished so hard you were eaten up by the darkness.
Yeah, no.
All right. So as you get closer and closer to it, you notice that this light does not have a stick, a staff, or anything coming from below it, and it definitely seems to bob more than the previous one.
All right, I'm gonna make my way back and tell Anzu and Ramiel and the two young lads what I saw.
You said it was bobbing?
Yeah, just bobbing up and down.
It seemed to more like be floating rather than being attached to anything.
Like a floating light.
Okay, so
What
either
if
it's
it could be a
floating,
will-o-wisp?
While you're, go ahead. What were you saying?
so either it's floating on its own or it's being held by something which is walking or something bobbing.
I say we approach it.
So as you're finishing off this discussion, you notice that it has begun to kind of float,
Bob
and
away.
start going off onto the distance.
What do you guys say? Follow it?
It's
Cautiously.
leading us away from the path, right?
No, it's going along the path. Most of the time, the smudges they're kind of like hedging in quite a bit.
Okay.
So
And it seems to be the same sort of light that the other shadows were scared of earlier, right?
yes, very similar.
Okay.
It's
Yeah,
similar it looks like the general shape and color of that same light, that whitish blue light.
I would like to follow it cautiously, but also close enough that I could easily get within its radius of light quickly.
Okay. So if you needed to like dash towards it, you could get to it.
Yeah.
Okay. You are following at a comfortable distance, and you okay. You notice after a short bit of time, a few minutes, that the smudges is kind of getting harder to get around the area.
Uh-huh.
You notice that the path is less glittery over here. It's harder to see your feet beneath you, and it's more of the black, smooth, cut glass look of just finished stone, like obsidian.
Is it enough so much so that we can't really progress anymore, or are we just having to move a little bit slower?
It's definitely restricting your movement. You wouldn't be able to run full speed in
Is
this area.
And is the light still is this still heading toward the gray area though, or is it started to veer off?
It is still heading towards the gray area. Is like you went on the split to the
To the right.
Yeah, to the right. So it was the creature's right, just for reference.
Okay.
That's irrelevant in the grand scheme of things, but
Yeah.
it's right.
Okay.
You're left technically for everybody,
Okay.
but that's irrelevant. So just don't worry about it. But yes, it's veered off a little bit, but it still looks like it's heading in general direction of that. Feel like you could get back towards a path if there was one, readily. Um, and the bobbing lantern light is slowing up, but it still seems to be heading off um, towards the gray.
And the lantern light is sort of avoiding all the smudges.
Yes, it seems to be.
Do y'all want to try to get closer to it to make it easier to know where to step?
Sure.
It could be one of our earlier friends who picked up another lantern and are heading that way as well.
True.
Well,
Um,
see somebody in that light, though, wouldn't we?
Maybe they're really good
No,
at
it's
sneaking
true.
as well.
Dodging all the lights.
Yeah.
everyone can't roll a 20.
That'll be my 120 for the night.
I think that might be like swimming up a waterfall,
Yeah.
completely stealth while holding a lantern.
Yeah, sorry.
It's like you need 3.5 for that.
Yeah. All right, so if y'all are good with that, I guess we'll try to get a little bit closer to the light to hopefully make it a little bit easier to move.
Okay, as you continue to move towards it, you notice that there is another light behind you.
Oh. Similar to the one we're following?
Yes.
When we're following, slow down a bit.
Yes, it did. And now the one that just winked into, you think it winked to existence, you would have noticed it previously. The one that winked into existence behind you has begun moving towards you. And the one that was slowing down seems to have stopped. It's about 30 feet away from you.
I don't like these.
I don't like this either. Y'all want to try to
I
maybe...
think they're,
What do you want to
I
do,
think they're
Ramiel?
will-o-wisp. I think they're will-o-wisps.
Are those generally friendly?
No.
Are they intelligent?
Yes.
Y'all want to try to maybe get as much off of the incoming path as we can, see what happens when the two lights meet? If we can see if we can avoid them? Or do we have to face this head on? What do y'all think?
Is there room for us to get off of this path and let them go by?
Can I use minor illusion to create darkness around us so that maybe we wouldn't be appearing?
Okay, so the one that winked into existence or turned its light on is headed towards you, and the one in front of you has stopped and has begun moving towards you. Okay, so you had several things. You want to kind of move off the path, so if they're just coming together, you can just come off to the side and no problems. Is that what you're thinking about doing?
Yeah. Is there room for that?
You might be able to like wedge yourself into like a closet sized area, but you're not super confident that you can avoid the smudges.
Can I try to maybe motion to have everybody kind of duck down near me and use minor illusion to sort of make it just look like shadow all around us? So unless you were close enough to penetrate the illusion, you wouldn't be able to see anything. Just sort of make blackness. Is that possible? Or since I'm just wondering, since we have a gnome and a halfling and all that, we're all pretty short. I don't know if we could all group together that much.
How far away are these two?
About 30 feet from you on either side.
And it's currently right now where we're standing. It's dark.
Yes, it's darker. Yeah, there's no light in your immediate area.
All right. I'm going to cast invisibility on myself then.
Okay. See you later, suckers.
So, well, that'll make it so our minor illusion has a little bit more room to hopefully cover the rest of us.
Oh, okay.
All right. And can I like a stealth check or try to hide as much as possible?
Okay. So you're kind of, getting as close to the smudged area. Consult the deck. Nice shout out for Ted's game. Consult the desk. No, there's no Taroka deck going on in this. If you've
I have one sitting right here.
Yeah, if you've watched the Scott play in Ted's campaign, he loves that Taroka deck. All right. They continue to come towards you about 15 feet around, so you kind of know like how much time's going by. And as they come upon your area, they just kind of like rotate around the area. And again, you definitely recognize them as not having anything holding them. They seem to be, their own willful balls of light. And while they are bright, it does feel there's like a cold, crisp feeling to them, as if they're a light that gives off no heat or warmth.
And was it the same as I felt when I grabbed that lantern?
No, it was not.
So I think I remember hearing him say that the lantern actually gave off warmth.
It was just the staff that gave you the cold feeling, I think, earlier.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think so. Yeah, I think it was the staff. Let's rewind it and check it.
Okay.
just say-
Okay.
So does it look like with them buzzing around, does it look like they're searching for us, or?
Yes. If balls of light could search for people, yes, you would think that perhaps if you had just stayed there and let them come up and touch you, you would not be happy about it.
So I'm glad I did this minor illusion. Do you have invisibility?
Yeah.
Do we need to do stealth checks or anything?
Hold your breath.
Well, if it looks like they're looking for us, I will move in the direction that we were headed stealthily.
Okay. You think that unless you're crawling along the ground, and if you crawl along the ground, you're going to have trouble with the scuffing of all the the grit. As you come back to the grit area, you're going to be running into some problems being quiet with that around. So as you start to move in that direction, you notice you're invisible, and you notice along the edges of the lantern light by these floating spheres, you see some of the smudge has begun to move, and it's creeping around the 20-ish radius of light that these things are giving off. Some of these smudges seem to be moving around and circling like predators. Whether they were attracted to the lights or whether they were attracted to you, there seems to be quite a bustle going on in this area now.
And these smudges, how many of them are in the area in front of me?
You notice two in front of you, and they are walking counterclockwise.
So does it seem like, you said they're walking along the edge, does it seem like they can't come into the light? Is it giving off that appearance, like they won't enter the radius of the light?
Well, it doesn't just stop at 20 feet, but around the 20-foot, it kind of gets pretty dim.
Uh-huh.
And because of all the different layers of the cracks and smudges in the air. And They just don't seem to be any interested in getting closer to you.
Let's see. Well, I'm not really sure. I don't know. What do you guys think? What do y'all want to do?
You do know. You do notice there is a few gaps. You think that you can make it, as long as they don't notice you. There's a time frame where there's a good amount of empty space on the trail back, what you believe to be the trail back.
To going back the way we came, or going back the way we're going?
Going back the way you came.
I'm gonna kind of, I guess, motion at Anzu, since I guess Ramiel wouldn't be able to see us at this point. I'm gonna sort of motion way we came, and then I'm gonna motion the other way for moving forward.
I'm gonna guess way we came. Although Ramiel moved forward, right? But
Yeah.
did we see that where he moved?
He's invisible.
So we can't see.
You felt him brush by you while you guys were like huddled together for the minor illusion and the hiding. You felt him brush by you, but you didn't hear him leave.
Right.
He
No.
could just be awesome.
Okay. I think not knowing, I'm just gonna hold up and be like, for on 3. I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna try to time it, like you said, with the gaps. And when I get to 3, I'm gonna dash back the way we came and hope everyone knew what I meant.
Okay, I'm gonna.
You hit an invisible thing.
Okay.
Roy, I'm assuming that you were looking around, so you would have noticed him doing the hand gestures and things. And
I think Jeremy knocked him off the stream.
Yeah, I hit him so hard.
you smacked it to him so hard. So, well, let's if he's not back in a second,
We'll assume he stood invisible forever.
all right, we're gonna go with it. You do knock into something that you did not see, so it does not seem like Roy abandoned you. The warlock did not abandon you, but you can stumble around or you can keep running.
Well, if I ran into him, I guess I'm gonna stumble slightly. But what I would do is when I hit him, I would look over my shoulder. I want to see if Anzu and the lads are following me or not.
Oh yeah.
They're
They're
following.
definitely into running along with you.
Okay, so I'm gonna continue running then. If I knew that Roy was invisible, I don't know what race is he playing. Is he playing something that I could possibly try to drag with me while I'm running, or?
You're a gnome, right?
Yeah, so I don't have much strength.
I think he's playing like a bigger race. So
Okay, well that's not gonna work.
Goliath, but,
So yeah, so I will just keep running. I will tug on him. I will tug once on whatever it is that's invisible and keep running. So hopefully he gets the idea.
All right, great. We'll say he came along with you.
Okay.
Well, you dropped out of the stream. Your character's dead. The harsh reality of bad internet connection.
Yeah.
No, so you grab him and take him along, and with all the dashing and scuffling and bumping into stuff, the creatures definitely noticed you, and the two orbs have started taking up pursuit, and as they get closer to you, they are attacking the rear vanguard. It's the unfortunate lads there.
No, not the lads.
The lads.
You took one of their daggers.
I did.
Yes. So one of them is just.
But he was slapping at the light so hard.
Yeah. like a karate chop action toy. So you hear cries of pain, and you see behind you flashes of light from behind,
Alright.
illuminating,
Those are not friendly lights.
No.
illuminating the stuff ahead of you. And the lights are still in pursuit, and you are attempting to make it back the way you came. Maybe there was a fork that you missed due to the lights kind of teasing you in one direction.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Welcome back.
anyway, the gnome
I
bumped
think my
into
damn
your
service
invisible.
provider.
The gnome bumped into your invisible body, but he kind of snagged you and grabbed you and took you along. You guys are all kind of running away from the orbs right now.
The lads are dead. Sorry to break it to you so harshly.
And I didn't even name them, so you
Okay.
could feel bad about it.
We'll perform a ceremony if we make it back.
Oh, I
it
don't
does
like the
seem-
fact that you changed when to if in that sentence. Be
Yes,
helpful.
sadly, their sacrifice was not in vain. It seems to have occupied the orbs for a little bit, and they are falling behind.
What killed the two kids?
The orbs of light.
Flashes of light
Okay.
from the orbs as you guys were all running away. Did you miss the part where there were shadow creatures in the at the edges of the light?
I was here for that.
Okay, all right. I forget when you cut it. Oh, I didn't know when you cut out and when you were here. So
I think my service provider is actually doing work on the. It's a horrible idea for them to do.
Oh yeah. You know, I have a medical center right down the street from me, and when they run their MRI and a few other things, I lose power. And it's just like, come on, guys. So thankfully, they don't run it late at night on the weekends, so I'm good to go. I'm not going to randomly shut
Let's
down.
hope. So there's no emergency then tonight.
Yeah, no emergency. Comic Book University, Will-O-Wisp Ninjas. That's true. All right. So the sacrifice of the lad seems to have stalled the orbs. I'm just going to call them will-o-wisps. They're will-o-wisp guys. So the will-o-wisps definitely munched on those two while you were making your escape, and they're pursuing you, but they seem to be lagging behind. And every once in a while, you see a mass of shadow move in front of the orbs there.
So are we seeing? You said when going back the way we came. Are we seeing any other parts of the path that we missed?
Yes, you do see kind of a. So, you know how you have your path you're going on,
Yeah.
and it's veering off to the one side, and if you were to look back over your right hand shoulder as you were traveling down that path, rather than focusing on the wisps, you would have noticed like a switchback trail that would have hairpin turned back that way. But it was very difficult to see within all the smudging and stuff like that. You would have had to have directly looked right at it as you were walking by it. You would have had to look back over your shoulder. But now you see it pretty clearly. It looks like another fork. And it looks like it's heading further towards. It looks like a more direct line towards the gray horizon.
I'm gonna cut down that fork.
Okay.
It's a lot easier when you know what is not the right way.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, we're going on like an hour and a half so far. All right. As you book it down that trail, you are starting to get out of breath, but you notice that the wisps are further and further away. So, and you have not been touched by any shadows or creatures of darkness. So, you believe that possibly the shadow monsters and those are all hanging out together, maybe fighting each other over the poor unfortunate lads.
Okay. R.I.P.
R.I.P.
So I guess start slowing down if we don't look like we're being directly pursued anymore.
Okay, yeah, and you were going to have to soon, or you're going to be getting exhausted.
Exhaustion.
Yeah.
Anzu, did you know those two lads' names? We must inform their family.
I don't know their names, but I've seen them working at the docks before, so you can ask around there
Yes.
Yeah.
once we get out.
Okay.
Not if, once we get out.
We've been going for about an hour and a half. Doug has asked newcomers to the stream if if people can explain what's going on in under a minute. So I'll explain really quick. Basically, hanging out in the marketplace, mirror breaks, everybody turns around. Then they see their reflection, they fall through something, and they fall into darkness, and they go unconscious. They wake up in a place, everyone's kind of disoriented, and basically there's been bad shadowy creatures killing people, and lanterns that are friendly and kill the shadow creatures, and then also lanterns that are not so friendly and trying to kill people. And they've asked confusing questions to a confusing guardian spirit, and they are hopefully headed in the right direction. So that might have been a minute, but that's where we are right now. Oh, and they almost got crispy fried by some will-o-wisps and eaten by shadowy creatures.
We're already dead.
Almost.
Okay. And some of you have taken a good amount of damage.
Yeah. So does it seem like if it doesn't seem like there's anybody around us, are y'all okay with maybe taking a quick rest, or do y'all want to keep moving? What do y'all want to do?
Yeah, we could take a short rest.
All right. Smoke them if you got them.
All right. I will, let's see.
Get my spell slot back.
Gain back a little bit of that health.
All right, good.
Not too much, but
Soviet Seething says I'm a fair bit quieter than the players. You know what? I had to turn the gain down on my mic. I think it's the gain. I don't know, mic lingo. I had to turn it down because other issues with how it was sounding when I was recording live streams for my video game stuff. So if it's still low, let me know. I might be able to adjust it somehow. It might just also be me talking, further back than everybody else. So let me check my settings right now.
All right.
Okay, is everyone rested up?
Rested up. Good to go.
Yep.
All right, so nothing has tried to eat you while you're taking a break. And you have not come upon anybody. You don't see anybody around except for now the three of you. And then there was three.
All right. So we're still heading toward the gray area.
Yes. And the gray area is getting larger quicker than you would have expected.
Could there be a better name for an unknown area that may kill us or not? It's a gray area.
It's gray area. It may be good. It could be bad. It's gray area. Nice. Okay. Just check where we are. All right. Hold on just a moment. Got all these notes. They're getting in the way.
Have you guys done videos about over planning?
Yes, we have. But you know what? I was saying to myself, you know what? I'll just do a twofer. I'll do this will be the encounter, and I'll write up the encounter and everything, and do the maps for it, and then I'll have like a finished product to do something with later. And I'm like, yeah, then I'll write it in all detail and stuff like that. And then it's like, it didn't turn out the way I thought it was going to. You know how stuff reads, it's different than it is in actuality when it comes down to it.
Yep.
So it's a different read than a different play,
Mhm.
I think.
So when we took that short rest, is our water and rations okay? Did they taste?
Oh yeah, yeah. Everything seems fine.
No, it doesn't seem fun.
Nothing weird going on at all.
As far as food supply is concerned, it's the least weird thing going on.
Well,
Okay.
that's comforting.
Yeah. Something's going right.
I have to let the dog out. I'll be right back.
Okay. All right. We good?
Yeah.
Okay. As you're going to head back down. I mean, you're going to head in the direction towards the gray expanse.
That's what we've been
Yes.
having for so long. So that's
Yeah. Let's keep doing it.
Okay. You head on for quite a while. You're kind of losing track of time. The gray expanse rarely gets larger. If you stare at it while you're walking, it doesn't really feel like you're gaining much progress. But as far as you're concerned, you're walking in that direction, so you must be getting to it. And so far, you have noticed some far off lights in the distance, seeming they're pretty murky with all the smudging and shadows in between you and it. So you don't think it can get ready access to
Mhm.
you. And
These look like the lights like we saw earlier, or do these look like permanent lights, like real lights, I guess?
they look like the bobbing death lights.
Okay.
You don't want to mess with.
well, it doesn't look
So
like
we don't
it's
appear to be getting
closer.
close to this area of gray.
You think you are if you don't look at it for a while and then look back and kind of consider, well, is it bigger, smaller?
Are
Is
the
there-
lights are they in the direction that we're walking, or are they off to more the side? Can we tell if we're actually moving based off those lights?
Well, the lights are moving. They're winking in and out. And there's at least 5 or 6 off in the distance around you. And as you walk through different areas of the dark smudges, it's going winking in and out, and you're not sure if it's winking in and out because it's being snuffed out by the shadow creatures, or is it
All right.
going?
Ramiel, have you heard of planes like this before where we don't seem to be moving?
The city of Carceri, where the Iron Tower is always in the distance, and you never seem to quite get closer to it. So I have heard of things like that happening.
Do you know of a way to get closer to it?
Do I know of a way to stop that?
Yes.
No.
Oh, I thought you were gonna reveal the master intellect behind how to get to that tower. Because I'm curious.
I think you have to be wanted by Despater, and he has to let you there.
Oh, all right.
Would I possibly know, as having been a sailor, know any sort of sailing tricks to use to see where we're going and distance we're traveling? Like when you're out in the open sea to
You
sort of
use, like,
judge.
stars and stuff, or you use some kind of landmarks or some.
Yeah,
Kind of...
try to find maybe a particular smudge of some sort, or maybe even use something I have. Like I have two short swords and a club. So can I maybe take the club and put it on the ground, and we can sort of walk away from it to see if we're actually moving away or something similar?
Oh, I see. So you want to set something down on the ground, walk away, and see if you walk back onto it.
Right.
Okay. So you want to try that first? Sure, go ahead.
Okay. So I have two short swords. I guess no more daggers, since I threw one and the other one died with a lad, and a club. So I'll do the club. I'll keep my short sword since they do the most damage, and leave the belaying pin or club on the ground.
No, I also have some darts we can use.
Okay. Does anybody have any way we could light something on fire and leave it, so that way it's easier to see as we distance ourselves?
Just like making a fire could attract the lights.
That's true.
Yeah, but if we're walking away from them.
We don't know if you're walking away from them.
Well, that's why I said if.
That's the
We're
question.
walking away from them.
Maybe we could light one of, if it's possible, maybe we can light one of the darts on fire and throw it away from where we're at, but where we'd still be able to see it and judge where we're walking.
So you want to light a dart on fire,
Yeah.
throw it, and then see if you walk away or run away from it. Will it be cool?
Yes. Are you all okay with that? Are you okay with that, Anzu?
Yeah. Sounds like a good test.
So I just realized I was on mute. Okay, so I would say that you light it and throw it, and it seems to just go off in the distance and land, and then everything is kind of cool. So it basically, as you move away from it, it does seem to go off into the distance, and you do see that several of the lights have been attracted to it.
Okay.
Okay, but we're moving away from that area, so that's good.
Yeah, so 3 of the lights went off to check out and investigate this other light. And it does seem that as you're walking, you're getting further away, excuse me. But
Okay.
at the same time, you don't seem to be getting any closer to the horizon.
All right. So we're in Mirror World.
Yeah.
And we want to get to the gray area. Maybe we should do the opposite of what we...
And walk back away from the gray area?
want to do.
So something you did
Yeah.
notice as the fire and as you were arcing it through the air to throw it away. I forgot to mention. You did notice that there are some glittering things in the sky, but they're not stars. And excuse me, off to your right, on another section of like a thin trail, there's like a bit of glittering dust and sand going down to the ground.
I say we go check that out.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
Billions of sky? Is that what you're saying?
Say that again. I missed what you said. Okay. All right, so you're gonna head over there.
Yeah.
As you come upon it, you notice that there is a massive amount of the black crackling lightning, surrounded by a whole bunch of smudging, and the glittering trail of sand and dust that you've been following goes up to that crack, and then you see it trailing off into the sky.
So it goes like through the crack and then into the sky?
It looks like that, yes.
Huh.
It almost as if it like hits it that area and then goes off into the sky.
How high up does the crack go?
It's more of like if you were heading into, like if you're following the glittering trail and the cracks like goes across it like that, and then at that point the glittering dust goes up into the sky.
Okay.
So it's kind of it like chops it in half.
Okay. Ramiel, you're big and strong, right?
No.
I was just wondering, since I'm a gnome, since you're taller, if you could lift me up like above the crack to where it's going up into the sky to see if I feel anything solid there. Because like for us, we're walking along this glitter thing on the ground. I don't know if I can walk along it going up, but I don't want to just jump and fall onto the crack.
As long as you don't weigh, what is it, over 100, like 100,
He's
140 pounds?
He's under 140.
Yeah, I'm a small little gnome.
Okay. I should be able to lift. I think it's 140 pounds with a strength of 8.
Okay.
Okay, so you want to pick him up, the gnome, and hold him over towards it.
Yeah, that's what I would like to see if I
Yeah.
feel anything solid where it's sort of going up into the sky.
All right, you feel confident with the you pick him up. You feel confident with the weight of the gnome, and as you approach the crack, it feels very cold, and you feel like your joints stiffening up.
Oh man.
It just feels like there's an ache in the bones of your arms and your legs. And as you try and kind of judge, like, can you reach that far? You can't. You're a few feet. It's hard to judge distance here, and you're several feet away. You're probably gonna have to figure out a different way of getting him over there besides just placing him, if you know what I mean.
I think he wants you to throw me. He wants you to toss the gnome.
No, I didn't say anything like that. But if you decided to do it,
Like how many feet?
there might be some inspiration after you do it in it for you.
I don't know if I could actually throw him. But like how many feet?
You would say that, he weighs a decent amount. That would be like throwing a big sack of gravel or something like that. It looks like it's 7-8 feet, but it's in the air, so it's not like you're just trying to toss it sideways. You're not sure, I mean, if it is actually solid, I mean, it's going into the sky, so what's gravity do then?
Yeah.
So if you're to judge all the variables that you can think of, you're saying, well, it seems plausible that you could toss him. But, there is that black lightning crack thing that he could hit if it doesn't work out the way you think it's going to work out.
Anzu, do you have any magical monk powers that can give me a little boost up as well?
Not for you.
Can you get over there?
I could try to jump there myself.
Monks ruining my fun.
Oh, I'm still thinking about
Um,
throwing the gnome.
He
Well,
can.
but if I got over there, then there's still a problem that. Okay, first of all, if it's solid enough that I can step on it, and if I'm on there, then you two still have to come over as well.
I can get over there.
We probably. All right.
Okay, so Roy said
Well-
we can get over there.
Well, if you would throw the gnome and I'd be on there already, I could probably catch him and help him on there.
And I do have some rope, so if it does work, I mean, we could use that also.
Okay.
That's true.
All right, so
Well, do you want to try to get over there?
Should we try to toss something on there to see if it's solid enough?
Yeah. I'll throw a gold
Something else?
piece.
okay.
I was going to throw a silver piece, but okay, if you want to throw gold.
Well, there's more incentive to come
Yeah, there's
get
more.
back up there.
Exactly.
Get it back.
So I'll toss my gold piece up.
Okay. Um, all right. You believe you hit something solid. It bounces and skips off, and then you see it. So you see it bounce off the glittering pathway, and then careen off into the black lightning thing.
Okay. So there does seem to be something solid there.
All right. Then I'll take the leap of faith.
All right. You can use your key, your tie,
I-
or whatever. Right?
Before you
Yeah,
before you leap, why don't we tie the rope around your waist so if stuff starts to go bad, we can pull and yank you back.
That's a good idea, actually. All right, so I tie the rope around my waist,
Okay.
and I am going to spend a key to use my step of the wind.
All right.
So my jump distance is doubled. And I'll jump. I guess that's acrobatics.
It's usually athletics, but I mean, if you do a flip in the middle, it's probably acrobatics.
Alright. Well, my acrobatics is a lot better than my athletics, so I
Yeah,
guess I'll
wait,
do a
you see,
flip.
You're a monk. You're already using your internal energy to leap farther. I'm sure you'll be fine.
Alright.
All right.
That's a
You make
23.
it with ease. It's a little disconcerting leaping off something and then landing on something flat at a right angle and it being the ground. But you don't
Mhm.
skitter off the path like the coin, and you are solidly on the ground in the sky.
All right. I'll ask Anzu if
Great.
he can use the rope to help pull me up, and maybe Ramiel can give me a toss to get me a little higher as well.
I will
Okay.
attempt to toss the gnome.
Yes.
So I'll keep the rope tight on my end.
Okay.
Okay.
Right, so I have a -1 to this.
Getting better. I'm liking it.
I rolled a 2.
All right.
You rolled a 2?
Yeah, 1.
All right. Well, at least it wasn't a natural one. You might have
Yeah.
broken the rope or something. All right.
All
So
right.
you toss him, and it's a really bad toss. But thankfully,
I threw my back out.
he's got a rope attached to him.
Yeah.
So the monk's got to put a lot of effort into making sure he doesn't gnome as you swing from your bad toss, and the monk is trying to pull you up. He already had the rope taut, but
Yeah.
I bet he wasn't expecting the guy to almost toss you into the black lightning crack. so as your face starts going towards the darkest parts of the lightning crackling things, it's swoop into an arc, and you get roughly tossed up onto the road in the sky.
All right. I stand up, brush myself off, and sort of. Whew.
All right. I'm going to Misty Step over there.
You get inspiration.
Who?
Roy, you get an inspiration.
Okay.
You not only made my day by almost killing the gnome by throwing him,
Didn't
you
even
also effortlessly Misty stepped over after everything was done. That's a good warlock of Asmodeus right there.
So I guess we, after my near-death experience, I'll give a little glare as I see a Misty step up. So I guess we continue forward
Well, I
or
can't
up.
hit you.
Huh?
Like it's like self only, so
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
can't take anybody with me.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad we all made it. Thank you all for
Mhm.
bringing me with you and not leaving me to the shadow creatures.
Yes, and speaking of
No,
shadow
no
creatures,
problem.
you definitely see you get a different perspective now. It's like a different frame of reference. You see a lot of the orbs down below, scattered throughout the area, and they all seem to be moving towards the gray expanse. From your perspective, it looks like it's easier to draw like a straight line between, like as you climb as you walk on the glittering road a little more. It's easier to see that they all are purposely moving towards the gray expanse from the utter blackness on the other side. And every once in a while, you'll see a new orb off in the distance come into existence, or over the horizon, or whatever's going down. I mean, you're walking into the sky, so whatever's happening down there.
The ground doesn't concern us anymore. We're wall people now.
Yeah. I have now become
The ground is
sky.
for peasants.
Yeah.
Many dead peasants.
Yes. R.I.P. lads.
Yeah. Extras.
All right.
They should. I should. Well, I mean, the red scarf, but red shirts.
So should we? Do we see anything else? Like, we're walking along this trail on what was once the horizon, now is our ground? Do we see anything that used to be above us, but now is in front of us?
I'm just gonna try and answer whatever I feel is necessary.
Okay.
rather than your question, because your question was kind of confusing, but this is kind of confusing. So yes, as you're walking further along the glittering road, it is clearer to see. You do not. It doesn't seem like you can fall off of it anymore. You've tested that by, stepping or pushing off on the side, and it seems solid. But it does seem like it twists and kind of arcs around towards the gray expanse. And you do actually feel like the gray expanse is getting larger.
Okay.
Where it was not getting larger before. And yes,
Roy fell off.
Did you say Ravenloft?
I said Roy fell off.
Oh. So,
I can Missy step back up here.
Yeah.
we'll just say he's with you guys.
All right.
It's a bummer they're working on this internet for the game. Well, whatever's going on in the area.
Yeah.
So, you are making progress. You are heading on this glittering pathway, and you do not see shadows, and you do not see the wisps coming near you. They all seem to be heading over in that direction. So as you are headed off in the direction of the where am I going with this?
We make it back to reality and everyone's alive. Hooray!
Almost, almost, but no. Okay, you continue to head that way. The gray expanse is getting larger and taking up more of your vision along the side. And it's no longer seems like it's something on the horizon, like a building or something like that. It's almost as if there is a how to describe it. It's as if a mountain face extends up and up and up and to the sides and to the sides and even down past the glittering pathway into the ground, just expands in all directions on that side. And you can see off in the far distance, because of how dark it is in this area, you can see off in the far distance the little lights heading towards it.
But are they still not on our same plane? If that makes sense. Like if we're like, I guess if this was the ground, we're now going this way. Are the lights down here, or are they actually up here on the wall sort of area?
Okay, well let's conceptualize this as a box, so none of us
Okay.
go crazy.
Yeah.
So let's say if we have a box and the expanse is on one side of the box, this gray expanse is on one side of the box, then as you're starting to climb this, well, I say walk, it feels like you're walking, but as you start to look around, it looks as if you climbed some strange place.
Okay.
And you can see past the floor off to an area. You can see past the, look up and see a section of the floor. So right now you're looking at like a corner edge where the floor meets the side wall, let's say. And you are seeing, as you get more and more towards what you might consider the middle of where you are in this box, you are beginning to see more and more lights appear above and to the side, but they're all heading towards the gray expanse.
Okay.
I don't know if that answered your question.
I don't remember my question completely, but yes, it did. It did answer my question.
Yes, excellent. Let's say that 100% success answered your question.
Exactly.
All right. Hey, Roy, you back?
I think if it happens again, so I mean,
You're kind of like half back.
I don't know what the hell's going on.
All right. Well, I was just describing how if we conceptualize this as a box, on the one side is this very massive gray expanse that looks like a cliff face that is unimaginably large. And on all sides of the box, aiming towards, as you get kind of closer to the middle of the box and you're walking on this pathway towards the gray expanse, there's a whole bunch of lights that have shown up, pinpoints, almost like starlight, but you recognize them as more of the same wisps, all heading towards the gray expanse.
So are we like at the base of a cliff or at the top of a cliff?
It is like you're off in the distance looking at a tremendous mountain face that just rises into the sky and goes along the side. As if you could look at all of the, like if stand in the, like a mile off looking at the side of the Grand Canyon, as if part of it wasn't there and it was just boom, boom, boom.
And like we were in the Grand Canyon looking at it?
In a way, yeah. It's got that side, that level of size.
Okay.
And you are getting closer to it. You notice that it has some lighter patches and darker patches, and every once in a while you'll see a flash. Well, more like a spark. Like if it's during the winter and you get that static, and you see a little pop, pop, pop in the darkness from static. It's like that. You're seeing a little pop, pop, pop off in the distance on this gray expanse.
Okay.
Okay. So enough about the gray expanse.
Imagine they're probably just actually lightning bolts.
Yeah, kind of like a little spark, flash, lightning. All right, so you're headed off, and as you're traveling longer, again, you start to lose track of time. I mean, you know it's getting larger in the distance. It's coming closer, or you're getting closer to it. And you're starting to begin losing track of time. And you're very disoriented because the path twists and turns in all three dimensions in the sky, or what you consider the sky of this place.
Yeah.
So it's very disorienting for someone who walks on the ground all the time. And they're the most they go up in the up and down height direction is if they climb on a mountainside or a hill, or walk up the stairs to some other place. So this is beyond that as far as changing the position that you're in space. Right, you go on for a while, and you're getting more and more disoriented, and let's see. Okay, Jeremy, you begin to hear grumblings and whispers.
Can I make out what they're saying?
Well, as you see, your two companions are not the ones mumbling or whispering. And at first, you
But I might be, actually.
Right. Well, it's more whispering than just what he's doing. It's
Okay.
extra whispering. And you are you can't make out what they're saying right now, but you do know you're on the edge of understanding. You definitely think they're speaking common, or a language you understand.
I'm going to ask, do y'all hear that?
What? No?
I guess.
Do you stop and listen?
I'm going to stop and see if the whispers seem like they're coming from the direction we're heading or a different direction. And yeah, try to listen intently to them.
Okay. It's hard to tell the direction, but you do believe it is coming from the expanse. And
Okay.
you all now hear the whispering and the grumbling. And as you're walking around, the whispering is getting more and more clear. The clarity is increasing as you're getting closer to the expanse. And you hear words like sightless and still and I. And
What was the first word?
Sightless, still, life, I, light, beget. Sorry, losing my voice there.
No, you're fine.
And you hear those words, and you hear them back to back to back to back. And in between all of it, you can hear this series of verses. I possess the sightless eye, desolate begetting widdershins. No light leads, no life, nor any sins. I turn around, but still I lie. I am what am I? And that is repeating over and over again to all of you. I'm going to put it in the chat so it's
Okay.
easier for... Hopefully I can just copy and paste it.
And is that coming from one source?
It's more of like a chorus or a cacophony of voices. It's all kind of... There. It's like a chorus of different voices. They're kind of disjointed and not in sync, but the stronger ones you can get out of them. And the strongest ones sound familiar, like as if you hear that voice a lot, like a friend of yours or somebody you know. And you're getting closer and closer to the expanse. It's like beeping. Okay. So you're getting closer and closer to the expanse. Did you want to do anything besides continue to march onto it?
I was just pondering over the verse.
Yeah.
History roll for Diesel. See if I've heard of that name.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
16.
Okay, and what's the name you're trying to look up?
Diesel, Deasil.
You recognize it as kind of like a traveling or going forward. It's an old. You remember how to say this, stories of travelers, and sometimes they are called Dessel, and that's like they're going forth. And but there's not. It's kind of like the faceless stranger name
Okay.
in old like parables and folklore stories. And in classical literature and history, they reference that as, when they don't have a name for somebody and they've come from another place. That's
Yeah.
what they usually call them.
Okay.
So
What
can I
about-
do like a religion or a history check on the rest of the verse to see if something sticks? Something.
Okay. You have religion?
I have religion, yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
It's an 11.
Okay. In the nature religions, they tend to have a life and death cyclical understanding of things. And if Dessel is the traveling to or going in a certain direction, Widdershins is going and coming back from that direction.
Yeah, Widdershins is like going away from the sun.
Yeah, so you could say you're between, like, if you're kind of like talking out loud to each other about this, you would say Dessel is traveling towards something, and Widdershins would be doing
Returning?
the opposite. Yeah, doing the opposite of that. In this instance, like with your religion and the whole nature, like cyclical nature of things, they'll use those in like poetry and stuff, and rituals, or making something and unmaking it. Okay.
So y'all just want to keep moving forward? Do y'all have another idea? Do y'all want to turn around, as it says in the thing, or keep going forward?
I don't think it's telling us to turn around.
Yeah. All right. Well, I say we keep moving forward then.
Okay. Three shadowy figures are seen walking the path towards you. As you are continuing to hear this more and more and more, and it goes quiet, and there's no more whispers, and you see these three forms before you. They are a little crisper, less smudged than the previous shadowy forms you've seen before. And they still have that shadowy feel to them. Like they aren't They aren't peasants that got lost on the road and are coming back to see if anyone else has survived.
Yeah.
They're definitely
Mhm.
looking up Mudge, Darkness, Shadow, Persuasion. And they seem to be brandishing weapons.
They're coming towards
and
us.
they're just calmly walking towards you. Well, walking, floating, stutter stepping,
Moving.
Gliding.
Yeah, kind of vampire glide, kind of fake walking.
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and pull out my weapons, have them at the ready.
All right.
How far away are
I
they?
also tightly grip my.
About 60 feet. You notice them because they are black against they're blocking an obscuring part of the glittering path.
Okay.
I also tightly grab my quarterstaff.
All right.
I'm gonna try to use intimidate or persuasion just because I'm pretty good. I'm gonna try to use intimidate and shout out, "Dark creatures, get off this path if you wish to continue existing."
Okay. Roy, what would you like to do?
Just Eldritch Bolt one of them if I can.
Okay. All right, let's roll initiative, and we'll see how that all works out.
24.
Okay.
21.
I'm glad I have a positive initiative modifier. 4.
All right. Well, even with that positive initiative modifier, you're going to be going last, Roy. Okay.
That's what happens when you roll 1.
Yeah. That's pretty good. That's pretty good for a 1 roll. I've had a 0 before from that. All right. I forget Jeremy or Tom who had the higher roll. I think Jeremy did.
Yeah.
Okay. You may go. You
All right, well,
said you're gonna be...
Yeah, I'm gonna try to intimidate them into clear the path, get out of our way.
Okay.
Let's see. Let me do a roll. So that is intimidation and persuasion are my 2 expertise. So I have +9, so 15.
All right. Wow. That was intimidation?
Yeah.
Okay. The tallest one, kind of shuffles back a little bit and stops while the other 2 keep moving forward.
Really impressive for a gnome.
Very intimidating, though.
God.
Right.
All right. Tom, next.
So they're still 60 feet away?
Yeah, about 60 feet.
All right. Yeah, I'm gonna move a bit forward and geez, I can't really reach them. My charisma is abysmal, so I can't try to scare them. Geez, guys, what should I do?
You can try to ready something, so if they do get close enough, you can lash out.
All right, so I'll move a bit forward, and I'll ready my quarterstaff to attack any of them if they come close.
Okay. I'll let you do that. So you're moving forward and just kind of standing at the ready to attack them if they get close.
Yeah, I don't want to move all the way forward. I don't want to be too far away from my pals.
Okay. So basically, they're gonna have to go through you or past you before they're gonna get to the other ones. Is that how you want to set it up?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Yep.
All right. All right. The two. Well, the one that startled from you intimidating it so fiercely, Jeremy,
Yes.
has begun to looks like it's like casting some kind of spell. It's doing some kind of crazy motions.
Okay.
Whatever it's doing over there.
Does
Okay.
it look like a spell?
It does look like a spell.
A counter spell.
Oh man! All right. Does that work if it's third or lower? Just bam counters it.
I think so. I'll look it up real quick. If the spell is fourth level or higher, I have to make a check. If it's third level or lower,
Yeah. So third level or lower is automatic.
Okay. So, Jeremy, as you see him preparing to launch something at you, it takes the shape of some kind of black shadow hound with a really big mouth, and an unnaturally big mouth, and it starts running towards you. And the warlock says a few words of power, and the black shadowy thing shatters into a bunch of pieces and falls to the ground.
Thank you, Romeo.
don't take me yet.
Counterspell, good. Never had it used against you. It was great. Okay, and the other one has taken notice of you as well, Jeremy, and is launching black shouty bolts of doom.
Okay.
What's your armor class?
My armor class is 14.
Okay, one of them will hit. One of them is not going to hit.
And I'm gonna go ahead and use uncanny dodge to take half the damage.
Okay. Can you do that with spells?
I don't know. Let me look that up.
I'll let you.
Okay.
Don't worry about it. Okay, so that's going to be 6, and then you can have it.
Okay. So 3.
Yes.
Okay.
And you also feel tired and weaker.
Okay.
All right. The other one, Tom comes up to you, and it's going to pass you, and then you're engaging it. So it will. You can take your attacks on it, and then it's going to attack you instead of moving on.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah. So what I want to do is I want to try and use my stunning strike.
Okay.
So in order to do that, just let me check. It's the first time playing a monk. All right, so I have to hit it,
Okay.
and when I hit it with a melee weapon attack, then I can spend 1 key to attempt to stun it. All right, so that's my first attack.
Okay.
It's a 12.
A 12 will hit.
All right. So I'll do 6 damage, and I'll spend 1 key point to attempt a stunning strike. So the target must succeed a Constitution saving throw with a DC of 14.
All right, let me just check this out. Did you want to do your other attacks? If oh, you probably get it's different. Okay, let me see. What is a stunning count as? It's just stunning's just a condition. Okay, never mind. All right, it's not.
Yeah.
It's not immune to it. So yes, you stunned it. If,
All right.
If I fail the save, right? Sorry.
Yeah, DC 14.
I failed the save.
All right.
Good. So you did stun it. I was right the first time.
Okay, so I'm not quite sure how this goes now. So because now it's stunned and I have another attack, or another
Okay.
2 attacks actually. Do I roll them with advantage since he's stunned?
I'm gonna say go ahead, rather than look it up in the book.
All right.
Sounds
So
good.
yeah, it's 18,
18 hits. Yeah.
and that's 11 damage. And I'll do
Okay.
one extra unarmed strike. Let's also roll that with advantage. Oh, those are some good rolls.
Holy shit.
An advantage double 20. That is, I don't think I've ever seen that.
Wow.
Me neither.
Wow, that's crazy. That's a 1 in 400 chance right there.
Yeah. So how do I roll critical? Is it just the maximum damage?
You would double your dice damage. So you'd roll
Drop that
double the dice. I said that wrong.
So 4 times 2 is 8, plus 4 is 12 damage then.
All right. Excuse me. So you stun it. It seems to be very disoriented from the stunning strike, and you come in and you give it quite a wallop, and it actually stumbles back rather than attacks.
All right. The stun, by the way, lasts until the end of my next turn.
Okay. All right. You have all gone? No, you haven't. Okay, it's your turn, Roy.
Isn't there one that there were 3?
Yes, there was the one that was casting a spell. There was the one that shot black shadowy bolts at Jeremy. And then there was the one that was going to engage with all of you, but Tom beat it back pretty hard. So there's 3. They've all been accounted for this round.
One that I counterspelled, blast him twice.
Okay.
Hopefully. A 14?
Yeah, that'll hit.
And then they both hit. The other one's a 16.
Great.
$17 total.
All right, 17 total.
24 total.
24 total. And that's all force damage. All right. You blast large chunks out of the shadowy creature, and it is there's a lot of pieces of it floating around right now. It is definitely it's staggered and looks like it's limping around from those strikes. All right. Top of the order. So Jeremy and Tom.
Okay. So the one that did the bolts at me and the one that did the other spell, they're still like 60 feet away, but basically.
Yeah, he's still 60 feet away.
Okay, but the one that Tom was engaging, he's I guess close enough that I could attack in theory.
Yeah, you could run up and attack him.
Okay. Can I do I don't know can I do a minor illusion and do another intimidation check? Is that a possibility or no? Or is that too many things?
I feel like that's too many things.
Okay. Okay. Let me
You
see.
tried to intimidate them all last time, and only the one kind of.
Yeah, I kind of flinched.
Yeah.
Okay. Then I will go ahead and go up to the one, and I'm gonna attack with my short sword and use my bonus action to attack with the others. I'm gonna attack with a short sword twice.
Okay.
So first attack probably does absolutely nothing. So that would be a 8. So I'm guessing nothing.
Nope, that's not.
Second one. Oh. Second one is 17.
That hits.
Okay, and so that is 1d6. So that'd be 9 damage, and then I can also do sneak attack since Anzu is right there, within 5 feet.
Okay. Yeah.
Only have a plus
Well,
3
actually-
attack bonus.
Swashbuckler. Can't they just make sneak attacks if they're dueling somebody?
Yeah, they can't. It's you don't have to have somebody else there. Yeah.
Yeah.
So 17 total.
All right. So that was your one attack, and you did 17 total.
That was my one attack and my sneak attack.
Oh, okay. All right. You have struck it a major blow to its torso, but being made of shadow, you're not really sure
Yeah.
if that's wounded it and it's going to like bleed shadowy go everywhere and die, or if it's going to just keep on fighting. It doesn't seem to be as harmed from that strike as you would say the electric blast did to the
Right.
other one. But again, when you strike them, it feels like you're not fully getting that the purchase that you normally get in a strike. It's kind of almost as if you're hitting a sack of grain instead of a person, or like, you know, you're probably never stabbed a cow or anything, so we're gonna. You're not hitting something meaty. It's more like you're hitting a sack of seeds or something.
Okay.
Goes right through. But you definitely
No satisfaction in it.
yeah. There's no satisfaction in it. All right, and Tom, you haven't gone yet, right?
No, but we do seem to be doing some form of damage, just not what
Yes,
we're expecting.
It feels like what
Right.
you've done previously to the other ones is just not fully harming them the way it would harm a flesh and blood person.
But they're not liking it.
No, it's still
All right.
it's still dealing some kind of structural
Hmm.
damage to them. They're still like the other ones. These just seem to be a tougher variety.
All right, I guess I have to do some more attacks then. So I'm going to attack again, and then I'm going to. Let's just start with attacking again. So I'll
Okay.
start with my quarterstaff. It's
All right.
11. Does an 11 hit?
No, 11 does not hit.
So then I'll just use my second attack. It's
That's it.
26. I guess that hits. Alright, so that's 12 damage. That's nice. And I can use another unarmed strike.
All right,
It's 13.
that hits. Yes.
All right. It's another 8 damage.
Okay.
And then I want to spend a key point to do a flurry of blows. So that's another 2 unarmed strikes.
Okay, so you're
As a
doing your
bonus
2
action.
attacks with your monk.
Oh wait, so sorry. Since I already did 1 unarmed strike, that's just 1 more unarmed strike with another key point.
Yeah, so if you do Fury of Blows, you can do a total of 3 attacks in a round, is what you're saying.
No, I can make a flurry of blows is 2 unarmed strikes as a bonus action, and I already have 2 attacks with my
Oh, okay, I see what you mean.
quarterstaff. So I already did 1 unarmed
So
strikes. I can do just
you're
1
making a
more.
total of 4 attacks, 2 with the bonus
Yeah.
action, and 2 with your normal attack.
Yes, correct.
Okay.
So that's a 19,
That was a little hit.
and that's another 9 damage. So that's a total of 29.
Okay, 29 damage. Your Flurry of Blows, your literal Flurry of Blows, has
Yeah.
has pummeled the shadow bits off of this, and there's nothing left but a dissipating mass of tatters and shadows.
All right, guys, just hit him often enough and they'll go away.
That was quite often. That was a lot of strength. Okay, it is now the 2 remaining are going to go before you, Roy. So again, Eldrick. Let's see. Okay. One of the shadowy figures comes at you with a sword, Tom, since you're the one in the front.
Mm-hmm.
And it will slash at you twice. The 4 is not going to hit.
Nope.
You don't have a 21 armor class, right?
No, I do not.
Okay. So the first one will hit. And it strikes at you for 12 damage.
All right, I can take that.
Okay. And its second attack went. You backed up and it swung and sliced at the air in front of you, but it did not find any of your juicy flesh there. All right, and more
I am quite small.
shadowy bolts. Yes, you're a hard target to hit. More shadowy bolts fly at you, Jeremy.
Okay.
And I think I'm gonna actually miss you. An 11 and a 12.
Nope. 14.
Wow. I couldn't hit anybody. Have to be like a really undexterous paladin with his armor off and taking it out. All right, so 2 shadowy bolts fly past you over your gnomish head.
Okay.
All right. Roy, it's your turn.
The one that just took shots at Jeremy, I'll Eldritch Bolt it twice. Hopefully. Does the 13 hit?
Yes,
And then the other one is a 17.
that'll hit.
It's going to be 18 total.
Okay. You blast through the last 2 crucial parts. Must have been holding that its shadowy form together, and it sprays apart in tatters and shadow and dust. And then there was one. All right, Jeremy.
All right. Is the one that's remaining the one that I intimidated earlier, or is it one of the 2 that I did not?
Yes, it was the one you intimidated earlier. That's wielding a sword at everybody. Well,
Okay.
just Tom.
Or just Tom? Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and for this turn, I think I'm going to. I'd like to do minor illusion and create an illusion of fire just surrounding its head at the maximum distance I can. It's like a 5-foot cube, so whatever that would be.
Okay.
And if I can still use my bonus action to also attack it with one attack, I would like to. But if not, that's fine.
No, that's fine. Go ahead.
All right. Should have not done anything.
Yeah, so you lunge forward towards the shadowy figure, and your attack goes under its arm, and it slams its sword down on your weapon, and your weapon goes skittering across the floor.
Okay.
It's very shiny along the glittering path, and it's kind of on the edge there.
Okay.
It's doing a little wiggle on the edge. It's your turn, Tom.
All right. Yeah. So let's see what's the best way to try to knock him off the edge. Can I just try to just do that? Just knock him off the edge?
Yeah, you could.
Or otherwise, no, let me do it another way. So I'm just going to attack him. And I'm going to spend another key point
Okay.
for flurry of blows.
Right, go ahead.
And if one of those attacks hits, then I can use my open hand technique to try to push him away.
Okay.
All right, so I'm going to do that. So these are my two attacks. 17 and 26.
Those both hit.
So that's 14. Then I'll do two more unarmed strikes with my flurry of blows.
Okay, and that'll allow you to kick him.
If one hits. So
Okay.
that's 9 and 15.
15 hits, yeah. Yeah, you and
All right.
Lavoie are in the chat are on the same wavelength. Like as you're talking about it, he's typing in the it's popping up in the chat.
Oh, nice. Good to hear. And this does in total 13 damage, and it must make a strength saving throw with a DC of 14.
Okay.
And if it fails, then I can push him away up to 15 feet.
I will be a rolling. Well, I rolled an 18, so he's going to pass that at 14.
Ah, dang it.
Is that only one attempt because only one of them hit, right? Yeah, well, only one of them
Yeah,
hit, so
just
I
one.
guess it's irrelevant. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. You kick him, and he goes into a back lunge and kind of absorbs some of the kick, so he doesn't go off the side.
Devious.
And then, can you finish it off, Roy? Oh, it gets to go first. Sorry, I get to stab it. I stab at thee. Since you're both tangled up with it, it's going to swing at first the monk and then the gnome. So I got a 13, 17 against the funky
That
monk.
hits.
All right, that hits. And it's going to be a 27 against the gnome.
Yep.
Okay. It's not that late. Why am I having trouble with adding? 10. 10 damage. And then it does a slashing, and then it comes down and tries to pierce you, my little Nomeo friend. For 12 damage.
Okay.
And it feels cold and dank when it strikes you. All right, now Roy. Sorry, I was confusing everybody by going out of turn.
Hey,
You
sure,
got a turn.
I sure it's 10 and 12 damage. The dice.
For suggesting you go out of turn.
Are you sure the damage is 10 and 12 since the dice only have a 1 number difference?
Did I add wrong? 10. Okay, sorry. You took 11.
Thank you. I'll change that.
Yeah, I gotta clear this. Getting my. So that was 1 extra point for you, Jeremy. All right, now it's Roy's turn.
14.
Okay, 14 hits.
Only one of them hit. For 10 points.
Are you blasting them?
Yeah, with Eldritch Blast.
Oh, did one of them not hit? Or are you doing one and one?
I missed with one.
Okay, all right. You did how much damage? 10? You did 10 damage?
Correct.
Okay, good. All right. Again, the savior of the Shadow Dimension here. Roy is slamming it with the Eldritch Blast, and it right in the side of the head, and all turns into tatters and shadows and dust.
All right.
I'm going to really quickly go try to grab my sword before it falls over.
Okay. And what you noticed was that as the combat is settled down, hold on a second. You notice that the combat is settled down, that the shadowy weaponry of the creatures are still behind and have not dissipated.
Blades of Mordor.
I never played that game, but it looked cool.
What type of weapons are they?
There is a like a thin short sword, rapier kind of looking thing, a spear, a staff spear, and a large like a rod-like thing.
I will kind of cautiously touch the blade, not the blade, the hilt of the thin short sword to see if it has any sort of effect as I kind of start to touch it. And if not, I'm going to pick it up.
Okay. As you touch it, nothing really seems to. You feel like a chilling cold,
Yeah.
and your bones are aching a little bit from it, but it doesn't seem to be. If you touched it for 10 minutes, it doesn't. It'll just make you feel kind of greasy rather than. It's not like it'll give you frostbite.
Okay.
All right. I'll approach the spear.
Okay. Again, you get that same kind of feeling as you. Are you touching it?
Mm-hmm.
As you pick it up and look at it, it's. You get that same kind of feeling. It's kind of like cold, clammy, almost like not tactily slimy, but there's like a grime in your mind that you feel when you're touching it.
All right. Okay.
That sounds utterly creepy.
Good. I was going for that.
You've been reading a lot of Lovecraft lately?
No, but but I really like psionics, and I'm gonna be one of the gameplays that I'm gonna run for later on, like the year-long campaign I hope to run. Probably gonna stick some madness in it. So the madness rolls I'm hoping to use and then make them
That'd be cool.
So been working on my description. All right. You'd like to move on?
Yeah, I think keep heading. Unless y'all want to take another short rest real quick. I don't know if anybody else needs one.
Okay. Hey, if you want to
Yeah.
This time out of spell slots.
Yeah, I need to hopefully recover some of that. Not a whole lot, but a little bit.
Every little bit
Uh,
counts.
Are we able to take a short rest?
Yes, go ahead.
All right.
You may make it through.
I'll go meditate a bit and get my key back. And roll some dice.
I'm gonna go ahead and do my last hit die as well. Okay, that's a little bit better.
There you go.
Well, out of hit die, but not about to die either, so that's good.
Good slogan. Use them while you got them.
Exactly.
Mm.
The dead can't spend their hit dice.
This is true.
All right,
No.
so your short rest is uneventful. You haven't made it through. Would you like to do anything besides continue on the road? Oh, well, sorry. While the short rest was going on, it was a bit disturbed by the continuation of the whispers, which elevated to that sound. And again, the chant of oh, I thought it was going to be easier to find. It's kind of way back there in the chat.
To post
Okay.
it in the chat.
Yeah, I'll repost it in the chat. It's like way back there.
So yeah, that's something that I would like to do while we rest, and we hear the chant again to try to figure out what this all means.
Yeah, I possess
We
the
have some
sightless
hints already.
Mhm.
I
So we
possess
do
the
have-
sightless eye.
The part where it says "no light leads no life" makes me wonder if we need to have something lit up. Otherwise, if we continue forward without any sort of light, maybe we will find no life.
Have I ever heard anything called the sightless eye? Like maybe with an arcana roll?
Oh yeah, you don't even need an arcana roll for the sightless eye. You know, throughout the ages, that it is kind of the like oxymoronical kind of statement of mystery. Like whenever some kind of like little cult wants to add a drop of like a big old woo factor to their name, they pick something like the sightless eye. So your knowledge of arcana is kind of clouded with a lot of that hokey kind of cult stuff. But the sightless eye, you could also say references in true or arcana literature references the being able to see the unknown or seeing without necessarily physically seeing.
Okay.
So like a blindsided warrior or something would be considered like maybe like a sightless eye monk or something.
What's that sinsel?
I think it's supposed to be "no light needs no life, nor any sins," and then I turn around.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
For some reason, I got rid of the when I copied it, got rid of the
All right.
Oh shit! I thought that was an exclamation point. Okay.
Yeah, it should be I turn around, but still I lie. I am what am I? There we go.
All right.
Okay, so you can contemplate that as you move forward, if you like.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And as you're moving forward, there's this. It feels very disorienting, as if you're kind of whipping your head back and forth and trying to see. And as that effect occurs, it seems as if, though all this kind of wobbly reality is going on, that the winding path towards the gray expanse has become some kind of streamlined arrow heading straight towards, in one direction, towards the gray expanse. And you feel like every step you can actually see the gray expanse getting closer.
Is my, out of curiosity, with the fact that I had been I think the sailor background, had been on a boat, would that help me kind of keep my head a little bit more?
Yeah. Oh, none of you are at serious risk of falling off,
Okay.
but you deal with it a lot better. The other two are kind of a little wobbly from it, but you stay true and straight easier. All right, as you continue walking, and it approaches faster and faster at an accelerated rate, as if you have begun to walk and then walk at a fast pace, then begin to jog and run, and now you feel as if you're traveling faster than you can imagine something going, as faster than an arrow travels, or a rock hurled by a giant. And things around you begin to blur as again you see more and more of the lights headed towards, and they begin to streak towards the gray expanse. And you come to a space where before you, all that you can see, if you look right and left, up and down, and in front of you is all a gray expanse.
Including behind us?
Behind you, there's definitely a delineation between what comes behind
Okay.
is often darkness, and what
Mhm.
is in front of you is the gray expanse. And
Okay.
you can see it seems like a flat plane, but there's ripples and slight differences along this gray surface. And you can see the lights. Some of the will-o-wisp lights are closer, and right before you can see the static sparks, and the disappearing of the will-o-wisp is not that it disappears, but as you're very close to the expanse, you can see that spark, and the wisp shoots back at an incredible speed.
Okay. And that's like as they approach, sort of like where the mountain face, if you will, is?
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
mountain.
as they approach this plane, this
Okay.
gray plane, let's say.
And the gray plane is now like right in front of us?
Yes, you can't touch it yet.
Okay.
You're not sure how far you have to reach to touch it, but it seems very close.
Okay.
And again, you notice the small imperfections and warbles to the surface of it, and those are not moving; they seem frozen in time.
Okay.
But as but you can see quite a lot of ripples to it as the different will-o-wisps strike it and sail off into the darkness.
Okay. I would like to kind of have the shadow sword out in front of me, so that if it just since we can't really judge distance, I don't want to run into the expanse. I'd rather it touch the expanse first.
Okay. Excuse me. So as you reach out with the shadow sword, you feel it. You hear a ting,
Yeah.
and it stops against something, right at your farthest reach. Like,
Okay. Well, looks like we're here.
Yeah.
um, and all around you see the little spheres of light strike. There's spark, and it sails off at incredibly fast speeds.
And does it look like they're sailing back into the darkness when they hit it?
Yes.
Okay.
In different ways. You notice that striking. They're not necessarily just all in a straight line. As you're close to the expanse, you can kind of see them coming in at weird angles sometimes.
Okay.
And they go so flying off fast, it's hard to see the arc.
Okay.
But they're going back off away from the gray expanse.
Okay. So I'd like to. I want to see what happens if a non-shadow or a no light thing hits this. And I should have experimented with this earlier instead of just throwing away a gold piece. I couldn't remember what all came in the burglar's pack, but I'll take a ball bearing out of that and throw it at the wall.
All right. You launch the ball bearing at it, and it just kind of it slams against it and just sticks there.
Okay. Azuna, I'm gonna tie some rope to me just in case, and have you hold it so you can pull me back. I'm gonna try to. Best way I can describe it is like Inception when it was like that, and they just walked from one up to the other, and see if that works.
Okay, so you want to see if it actually has like its own plane of gravity to it.
Yes.
Okay. As you get closer to it and you step onto it, well, right before you step onto it, you hear and kind of feel like a shaking to the air, as if you've well, you're known, but if you've ever gone to try Nemet, they have these tremendous steam things there, and they shake as if like some kind of earthquake is going on. And while you don't see the movement, you feel it, the pulsing and vibrations that come up through your feet as you touch it.
Okay.
And it's not rhythmic. It's very much like hailstone on a cobblestone street.
Okay.
So whenever the stone decides to fall, the hailstone decides to fall on it and bounce. It's like that.
It's not coordinating with like when the will-o-wisp are hitting it or anything like that.
Well, you would say that it's probably hard to judge, but the will-o-wisp are not hitting it in any uniform like pattern. They're not hitting it on like a 4-beat. Doom, doom, doom,
Okay.
doom.
Yeah.
It's definitely more like raindrops.
Gotcha.
So you would say that while it's very difficult because of the quantity and the different timing that it hits, when there is a slow time period, like if you observe it for a minute, when there's a slow time period, you could say that it is vibrating in turn with
the will-o-wisp
things striking it and flying off.
Okay. So was it when I actually put my foot onto it? Is it its own plane or no?
No, it does not give you that feeling.
Okay. So all right. Well, thank you for holding on to the rope, Anzu, so I didn't die.
Yeah, no problem. Anytime. Okay.
So I'll describe what you told me to Anzu, that there's sort of like an earthquake type feel. It seems like it almost feels like there's rain on the other side. Every time one of these will-o-wisp hits it, it shakes on the other side of this mountain face.
Did you see down at the bottom?
So, Roy, I know you dropped in and out just to catch you up. We've made it to the edge of the gray expanse. There are just tons of will-o-wisp, not directly near us, but just flying on, hitting it. And as soon as they hit the wall, they go flying away faster than we could ever imagine. And it seems like every time they hit it, it's causing something to rumble on the other side of this.
On the other side of the expanse?
On the other side of the expanse.
And I take it we can't see across it, right?
No, it's the expanse
Going
as if
straight
it
up.
is as if it is stone.
Yeah.
It's opaque,
Okay.
very opaque.
Does anybody have a torch or something to see what happens if we put a source of light up to it?
Oh, I have an explorer's pack. I believe those have torches in them.
I would.
I'm just trying to think of the no light thing, seeing what happens if we put light to it.
Yeah, I was also looking at the riddle.
What if we turn around and back into it? Since nothing happened when I put my foot against the wall, I'm going to try that. I'm going to once again hand Anzu the rope, and I'm going to try to turn and face them and just lean back into the wall.
All right.
You just put yourself against something
And feel the
making a whole bunch of
raindrops.
noise.
Okay.
Yeah, but without the protection of your boot and it just hitting your back, it's a bit
A little more jarring.
It's jarring.
Okay, well, I step forward. That didn't happen. Nothing happened with that. Y'all want to try the torch thing?
Sure.
All right. Just still checking what is in my explorer's pack. I believe it.
Let's see.
I should have written this on.
Explorer's pack has backpack.
10 torches.
Yeah, 10 torches.
All right. So no light needs no life, nor any sins. All right. I'll light a torch, and I'll walk towards the expanse. Let's see if I hit it. Just put my hand out and see if something happens if I touch it.
Okay, so you've got a torch, and you're going to press the torch against it, or are you just holding the torch and you want to touch it?
I'm holding the torch and I'm pressing my hand against it.
All right. So when you do that, with the crisp light next to it, a few things happen. You see, rather than just a gray expanse, you see very clearly this kind of twisted and rippling image of yourself. If you're holding the torch in your left hand, the image is holding its torch in the right hand. And from that behind you, you can see a whole bunch of shadowy images. Being the light reflecting off of it behind you. And they're all pantomiming that motion that you have of holding your hand against the thing and holding the torch, and but it's the opposite. It's similar to the image that you're seeing in front of you.
So is the mirror image? I guess is his hand pushing up against the mirror image hand? Does it?
Yes. Yeah, as you touch the gray expanse and have the light in front of you, that's what you see, and that happens in a very quickly because the torch light, you can see it. It begins to reflect off of the gray expanse in the image that you see, the mirror image of yourself that you see on the gray expanse, and that torch light, when it bounce, you can see it kind of interacting with the gray expanse, and then sparks of it, like as a torch has a little like wisp of fire that goes up, like wisps of like tongues of fire shoot back out towards the darkness.
At us?
No, past you.
All right.
Maybe if I decided to turn this into a different encounter at the end.
So it seems like it's something to do with light and reflection. I wonder if you weren't facing it, if there wouldn't be a reflection there because there's nothing else to sing, and I wonder if it's a combination of the two. If you had light and you backed in, if there wouldn't be anything there to sort of hit you.
And you find it also very hard to hold onto the torch as if it's being having forces exerted upon it.
Okay.
Like it's going to be like it wants to get ripped out of your hand.
All right. So can I move it forward? Can I try to touch the gray expanse with the torch? Or are the forces too strong?
It's quite hard. Like it would be like opposing lodestones or something, trying to force them together when they don't want to be near each other.
All right.
Huh. So what do y'all think?
That is a good riddle.
Yes. So going forward leads to returning, essentially. No light leads no life, nor any sins. I turn around, but still I lie.
So have you
Try to turn around and back up onto it.
We can try that while holding torches. I tried to just back up onto it without holding a torch, and it didn't do anything. So maybe we have to be holding torches while we do it.
Yeah, good suggestion.
Some sort of light.
Okay, so you've got 3 torches and you're going to light them?
Yeah.
Okay. As you turn around, well, you all see as you like light it, you see a mirror image of yourself in the gray expanse. As you turn around, you can see almost as if like a prism, the shadowy forms that were in the image also shift and move around like kaleidoscopically
Okay.
over top of each other. Since you're all doing it at the same time,
Right.
it's a bit trippy.
Yeah.
Like shadow forms and lines of interaction are all.
Reminds me of those
bouncing off
mushrooms I found that time.
each other. Yeah. There you go. No experimentation in college.
Exactly.
At
So
university.
it's like a hall of mirrors.
Exactly.
Yes, it does. That's a good descriptor for it. So you've all got torches and a hall of mirrors spinning around.
Yeah.
And as you face away from the gray expanse, similarly to how that glittering pathway straightened out, there is that tilt of reality, and there is a flash and detonation as you are hurled at incredible speeds out into the darkness.
Shit.
And you Oh, did my thing just cut out? Then all you can see is blackness. Not even the torches are seen.
Are we
Right.
still like speed?
So you all blink, and you see the last clatterings of a mirror falling to the ground, and it was quite a noise and ruckus, but the last pieces are clanging and falling and cracking, and everybody does a little sign of good luck for witnessing such a large, expensive, and mirror of antiquity breaking in front of them.
Mm-hmm.
And you see the people around the market square kind of avoiding the area as they go their separate ways.
Do we see the lads? Were they alive?
Oh yes, you see. There's all kinds of people in the market square. There's a person in a red headscarf, and there are some people with red stripes on their sleeve, denoting some kind of office. And there's a noble and some lads that look like they work on the dock.
They're not real.
700,000 years of bad luck. All right. So that wraps up the adventure Echoes in the Mirror. If you'd like to talk about anything, we can hang out after I stop the broadcast. But
Okay.
you want to give out shout outs at the end to anybody or anything? Go right ahead.
Sure. If you, I'll give a shout out if you watch any of the shows on the CW. Check out cwrecap.com. We post written reviews there every week.
Okay, cool. Roy,
None. Yes.
would you like to do any shout outs to anybody or anything, or plug your stuff? It's cool. You good? Or you couldn't hear me?
Who, me? Can you hear me?
I can hear you, yes. Did you hear what I said?
Yes.
Did you want to?
No, I have no plugs.
Okay, no plugs, no shoutouts. Okay, how about you, Tom?
I just wanted to thank you for inviting me and allowing me to be part of the show.
Oh, great.
I really enjoyed it, and
Very much.
keep up the good work. I like your YouTube movies
Oh, thanks.
and the rest, of
Cool.
course.
Yeah, well, I'm 1/4 of the party. All right, great. Well, let me know what you think in the comments below. If you'd like to see more live streams or gaming with me, let me know. You can email us at nerdarchy@gmail.com with your requests, and just put a gaming with Nate in it. And until next time, stay nerdy.
Bye.
Bye.
Adios.